Live to the recording of episode 93 of the Gaming Meal. Bro,
Caesar, did you see
rundown.
the? Oh, fuck.
I'm kidding,
Okay.
Cosmo.
I was gonna say, did you see the video?
Yes, I'm halfway through it. Actually, yeah.
Okay. So with that, let me start the rundown real quick. Here are our topics that are gonna be for this week's podcast. We're gonna start our appetizers as we always do with. We're gonna start with the Overwatch 2 impressions,
I don't like
particularly
this one. I'm gonna change it.
as it comes to impressions that other people have done. We have not been able to play the game. None of us have been invited, but there's enough changes to Overwatch 2, and people have now had their hands on it that we kind of want to talk about what we're hearing. So next, the second appetizer is gonna be PlayStation Plus, particularly the subscription changes, particularly the Sony blocking PlayStation Plus subscriptions from being stacked. So we'll talk about that, kind of what that means, what they did. And the third appetizer is going to be the big news for the week. It's going to be the Square Enix sale to Embracer Group, particularly the Western studios, and that'll lead us into the main course for this week, which is going to be our third-party developers pre-E3 discussion and predictions. I'm hearing myself, so I don't know.
I was
Yeah,
double checking.
Mika, I hear the echo
I
again.
was double checking the stream.
Probably.
The
I
audio?
could actually hear
Oh,
you
okay.
guys on the stream.
Robble.
I wanted to tell you before I did that, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
That's fine, as long as it's.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's tested. We're all good.
Any questions on the rundown or any other?
Sounds good. To me.
Any suggestions, changes, topics for the main topic? For example, we're gonna go basically talk about Square Enix right after the appetizer because we're gonna be like, what happens with them? We don't know right now E3 schedule, so right now we want to kind of talk about it because we want to talk about the state of them, as we did with the big first-party publishers a few weeks ago, and we felt that it was kind of like a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, E3's in about a month, so might as well do it. Get it
It's
done.
fine.
I mean, it's gonna be a digital E3, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no-
We're
there's
saying,
Well, hold on. E3 was canceled.
yeah. When I'm saying
So-
E3, I mean like the spirit of E3 or whatever, right? The summer.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft has an event, so basically
Everything-
we usually have this like predictions at this time.
The newly deceased, but we're gonna keep the tradition going. It's E3. Merry E3 to you, sir.
Microsoft has a big announcement.
Yeah.
Sony doesn't give a crap. Sony's
Yeah.
due, by the way, for like a PlayStation Direct or whatever the hell they're called, like State of Play.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah.
And Nintendo is also kind of they could. I would expect all three of the big hitters to like do something over the next 2 months.
The sweet summertime game announcements.
Yep, it's the summer Christmas.
Some Christmas. Okay.
So if that's it, I guess it's my cue. Are we all good to roll?
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Roll.
All right, recording. And starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 93 of our weekly Gaming Meal podcast. As usual, we are here to deliver some gaming-related news and discussions in the form of a 3-course meal. I'm one of your hosts, Manny, and I'm here with Eric.
Hey, everybody.
Mika.
Hello.
Gilbert.
Hey.
And Caesar.
What is up, my gamers?
And in today's episode, our main course will be about, we're going to talk about like pre-E3 third-party predictions. By E3, we mean like the summer. We literally just talked about this a pre-podcast. like just the summer reveals that we expect to happen from all companies, right? So it's not actually three. Three's dead.
Summertime,
Okay, so
we're
I
gonna play
actually
games.
so E3 was canceled, right?
Yes,
But
Yeah.
they're
completely.
still doing like a virtual thing.
It's
No.
not even.
No.
Oh,
not
it's
It's
actually
like
not
nothing.
called E3 at all.
Oh,
It's the
jeez.
ESA and E3 is not there. It's just Microsoft has a
it's just
presentation.
companies are
Um,
having a presentation at the time
yeah.
that E3 would have happened.
And while they haven't been
All
announced, I'm
right.
100% sure
All
that
right.
Ubisoft is gonna do one.
Basically, it's
And
whatever they
fucking
had ready for
EA.
E3, but now there's no E3, so they're just doing it like their own separate individual presentations.
Very likely, yeah. I mean, they're
All
already
right.
pretty separate by now, but yeah,
So-
that's
All right, gotcha.
We will still celebrate our dear E3 as is customary.
Basically, what
Preview.
they're doing is letting everybody know that, hey, we don't actually need an E3. We can do this on our own.
they've been doing that
That's
for
what-
years now.
Yeah, that's what PlayStation's been and Nintendo have been doing for years now.
Yeah.
This is the longest intro we've ever had.
This is good.
I had a question. I had a valid question.
So before our entree, before we get to that, we could keep discussing that later.
That was
We'll
hey, that
discuss
was
it in the main
discussing the
topic.
menu. No, that was
because there's some
discussing the
background
menu.
on what to expect.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
this
had
was
a
supposed to be a
valid
minute.
question.
Yeah, and it
Valid.
was hopefully answered. We can talk about it more later. So before our entree, which is that whole discussion, we start off with some appetizers, and brief discussions in current gaming news. Take it away, bro.
All right. So for this week's first appetizer, we are going to talk about the news of the Overwatch 2 beta that's currently out, and people have been playing it. And we're basically going to talk impressions, particularly as to the impressions we have seen from other people. We unfortunately, at least I'll speak for myself, have not been invited to the Overwatch 2 beta. At this point, I'm just waiting to see. I'm still hopeful that this is going to be a free-to-play game. I am dead set that is going to take place because they have a beta and the game has no launch date, which means this is truly a beta for the first time in forever. Not a beta a month before launch.
Forever.
But this game might not be out this year, and people are playing it like officially publicly out. Right?
I thought they officially said it's not coming out this year.
Correct. So
Yeah.
this is truly a beta, aka they're getting data, and we'll see you in a year and a half, depending on the data they get or something.
It depends on the games. Betas can be short too, right? Like 3-month periods
yeah.
could be a beta, but for a multiplayer game, yeah, it should be longer.
Yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be on Game Pass eventually, according to maybe. There we go. According to the manual.
It's a guarantee.
News on that,
The
but let's-
stockholders
let's-
approved it, by the way.
Tackle it.
They
Let's tackle
gave
it. Let's tackle this by the time back. So let's talk
the
about
thumbs
Overwatch
up.
2. Let's talk about
Yes.
Overwatch 2. There's been a lot of changes between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. And I say a lot of changes, and at the same time, the game is mostly the same, right? That you can go either way. So let's just talk about some of the changes that have been going on. I have a list of kind of like some of the major changes. And let's just talk about the big, at least one of the biggest changes, which is basically the amount of characters that you're gonna see at the same time, which changes your team dynamics, which is the 5 versus 5 format now. I'll just throw it out there in terms of like to bring to the conversation, and then I'll try to guide us to all the major changes from Overwatch 2. Gilbert, what did you think about the 5v5 format for Overwatch 2? Do you like the idea? Do you hope it's gonna be better?
From a
What?
casual gamer perspective, casual fan of Overwatch, I thought it was a good move because the tag metas, I'll be honest, they're not fun to watch. They're just not
slow.
fun. It's slow.
They're
This is
janky.
filthy casual.
It's like fighting a
Slow.
Destiny boss. It's like it's infinite health.
So I think it's a good move because it'll allow more outplay, more skill based to show off. You know what I'm saying? So it should make it more interesting from a like Overwatch League perspective. If that keeps going, because OWL has had issues.
Is it still alive?
I don't even. I think so.
Yeah,
It's-
I saw streams.
It's
the
a
other
lot.
day,
You know what? It's alive in China. This is like they
didn't
moved
actually see the
all their efforts to China. Like I'm not kidding, for the most part. And yeah, I'm excited for the new characters. I'm excited for what they got going. However, and I think the changes to the current Overwatch 2 PvP is just that. That's it. That's it. And there's really not a whole lot of changes. We really should be looking forward to is the single player
So let me explain the actual changes on the 5v5 format. So before it was a 6v6. So basically, the Overwatch separated its heroes between healers, aka support, if you will, then DPS or damage dealers, and then tanks, as Gilbert mentioned. With the 5v5, what they're doing is basically they're removing one of the tanks. They still have the 2 healers, 2 PvPs, 2 DPS.
2 DPS,
and then but only 1 tank now. So this is both, as you mentioned, you were good and bad. If you play tank, your role is gonna be a lot more limited because you're the only tank, and your queue times will be longer.
Well, and Eric, I thought I read they were gonna make them more bruiser-like versus an actual tank.
Is this the meta, or is this the actual game telling you only one tank?
This is not the meta. This is the actual composition.
So apparently, one of the things that they changed, and apparently from Overwatch 2, is that you do a little more damage now, so you can actually drop people a little bit faster. So what Jiver is saying is that the meta is no longer you hide behind the tank shields and you're staying there forever. Yeah. When he says brawlers, it's like they're meant to brawl and they're meant to be in that fight and survive and because people are gonna be dying. Like it's gonna be a lot more faster paced, where you're no longer gonna have a bunch of people alive, you're gonna have a bunch of people dead because the DPS and every single character can die faster. And that also puts pressure on the healers that you really need to heal because people die quicker.
Yeah. They also brought new game types too, like for that.
There is a new game type. I'll talk about it when we talk about the different changes. For now, let's talk about the 5v5 and how it actually changes the dynamic, which is basically it's more fast-paced. It's more action-based from what it looks like because there's only 1 tank. So it's not this whole...
Have you seen Twitch gameplay, Eric?
Yeah, I have.
And what do you think? Like, is it actually that? Does it translate to faster?
It definitely feels faster. It definitely feels like you go ham. If you're a tank, you're going ham against the enemy team when you go in there.
Does McCree have the 6 bullets? Still have the same amount?
It's not called that anymore.
McCree's not in the game. Okay.
Oh my god.
McCree's not in the game. Yeah.
What do you mean?
He's called Ryan now.
Ryan, yeah.
Who's Ryan? Is he McCree's
cousin? Who the hell is Ryan? Like Jose.
Oh
what? Crazy.
Generic name for
he's the new Papa
person.
John's, okay?
Yeah, pretty much. Could I call him John?
It's
so
Cole Cassidy, by the way.
So
might as well be called Ryan.
Call Ryan.
So Manny, any particular thoughts as to that format?
The 5-player change.
Yeah, and then I'll move on to some of the other changes they did.
I mean, I feel like the tank is screwed. Almost like doomed to fail, dude.
Genji's gonna have a fucking ball, and Tracer too.
So I hear characters like Genji and things like that, they're a lot more useful than they were before because now they can actually drop people quickly, grab somebody, kill somebody in the corner. Rather than Genji just became unless you're a pro Genji, you can't do anything because there's 2 tanks the whole time, and with those little knives, you basically did nothing.
They're gonna have to tweak so much because everything was designed for 6v6.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like Tracer's literally a Reinhardt counter. Like you cannot do this. You can't run around.
So talking about tweaks, let's talk about some of the big tweaks. So they're doing a lot of major character rebalancing and a bunch of stuff, right? There's 2 particular characters that they're really doing like a lot of reworks, like they're completely redesigning them. And that is Doomfist and Orisa. So I'll start with Doomfist. Doomfist was a DPS damage dealer. Now he's a tank. They've changed him to a tank. They changed this so that he has some sort of like shield. He still has his uppercut, but it's not as useful anymore. Like they really swapped him so that he really can't just go ham and kill somebody.
He was broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he Rengar and everybody?
Did they change?
He's got a new ability called the Rocket Punch. I'm learning here. That basically you charge from a distance. Basically, it's like a mini Reinhardt or something, but a little bit different. He also has a shield.
Is Brigitte tank now?
Who?
Brigitte.
Vegeta.
Brigitte.
Bridget?
Bridget, whatever her name is.
She's still there. Nobody's left.
But is she
Wasn't
a
she
support
always
or a
a tank?
She's always a tank.
Oh, she's a support.
She's a tank.
No, she's a support.
She's a tank.
Diva is now a
still say
DPS, right?
support.
Diva's now a DPS.
I played it yesterday.
No,
She's a tank.
Diva was the tank in the past.
Who
Then
making
they
her a
changed
DPS
that.
now?
That was my question, by the way.
Let me check. I literally have Overwatch installed here on the PlayStation. I'll check in the background. But okay, so they changed Doomfist to a tank.
Yeah.
They've also changed Orisa, which is the robot that had the Gatling gun, right? And apparently what they did with her was they completely redesigned her. So apparently they replaced both her energy javelin and her javelin spin. So it's now some sort of like projectile. I haven't actually seen the whole thing. She still has the wall that she can do, but basically you can shoot through the wall to increase damage or some things like that. So they did a complete change of her. So they basically changed the entire structure of her character. Apparently, she's still a tank. She still has to do that same process. But so they've done some heavy reworks, like Doomfist and Orisa that we mentioned. They've also done a couple of reworks on some of the existing characters, particularly regarding crowd control. So for you to know, crowd control means that you can basically like stun enemies or things like that, right? Like a flashbang, or you freeze somebody, like May used to do, or things like that, or you like stun things. So basically, they removed any stunts from the game. So no, you can no longer stun people. Like just stun you, kill you, bang. That's no longer a thing.
May can't freeze.
Yeah,
She
I
can
remember
freeze
hearing that.
herself, but May's primary freeze has also been changed, and instead of freezing you, it's now a 100 DPS weapon. That's it. That slows you. That's it.
I don't like that. That's reduction in the
like
game.
the
What about, like,
Ryan, bloody his name is. He no longer has the flashbang grenade. He has like a sticky grenade that does damage, pure, nothing more. So they've really limited the characters as to crowd control, and the idea is to give people more movement and freedom to move around the map without having to worry about, I countered this enemy, boom, I immediately got stunned and died.
Eric,
go ahead.
Can I run this by you real quick so we can get it real quick to the developers now in the beta phase? Let's change that McCree bomb to a flash bomb and just make the player's screen white, and let's get on that, baby. That's way better. Come on. I mean, Brian, whatever his name is. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I can't believe they changed that.
I don't like the name change. I disagree with that.
But okay,
they changed it for a good reason.
I love that we're getting stuck on a
still
particular
disagree
character
with it.
name.
Like, I disagree.
Oh, Silver, you are
He was
correct.
named after a Blizzard employee that was caught in the whole sexual harassment.
I still disagree with it.
FYI, you are correct. She is a healer. She's a support.
I told you she was a support. I'm like, what is bad?
She has a shield.
I know, but it's still support.
She has a shield.
Okay. Regarding the reworks, by the way, they've also reworked the roles themselves. So now if you're a tank role, they've added what we call role-specific passives. So passive is basically an ability that everybody has as long as you're within that role. So tanks have the passive role of basically reduce knockback effects, and but you also receive less healing and damage.
Okay.
Right, and the damage basically they gain movement speed.
Lucio's OP.
Yeah. Particularly on kills apparently, and passive for healing for supports is that they heal over time.
Cool.
I mean, this should feel like a new game.
Yeah, it's pretty different. Like honestly,
it sounds like it.
I'm not sure. I like the fact that there's no effects, like they're taking away effects instead of adding them, or they're just reducing them or something. They just straight up removed them. I don't know. You have to play it, I guess, to to see, right? If it feels good. So, what else, Eric?
That's basically the main reworks. There's a couple of new modes, like push mode, where basically both teams are pushing something or whatever. Other than that, it's basically a lot of people saying that it's more a big rework of the game rather than an actual full-on new game. But time will tell. That's the only thing I was gonna say.
I mean, personally, I would like
any
to
final
see
thoughts
more
on it? Because we
characters.
also need to move on.
Yeah, I personally think more characters. Where are a bunch of new characters?
Do you think it will revive
There's a new
the
one. There's a new
series?
character.
But I want 3 or 4 or 5.
Do you think it will revive the series?
I want all the characters.
All the characters.
I like that
all
this
the
is series was only being one game, but yeah, series.
Only
Wait,
way I'm coming
wait,
back is being
did I-
dragged back in. And somebody's
Did I
got to drag me
confuse
back
what you were
in.
talking about? What game are you talking about right now?
Talking about
Overwatch 2, as
Yeah.
in just the second one.
Great. But I'm saying
Okay, so yeah.
It'll
yeah.
make it a series. It's not.
It'll make it a series.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
So,
That's what I meant.
yeah.
you're saying it'll change the series.
So,
I'm like,
do you think? I mean, isn't like Overwatch 1 dead?
No, it's.
I don't know about that.
It's it's hanging on.
I
It's
heard.
It
might
it's
as well be dead.
I heard it's dead.
The next Hots.
So I was wondering if you think
Hot-
Overwatch
Hot,
2 will revive the series.
Hots with. I'm sorry, guys. I know you all love heroes, but
Oh, Hots is super dead.
Hots
I
was
love
dead
this,
from
yeah.
day one.
fuck you.
Oh, but I liked it.
It's still playable too,
I'm
man.
a
As
huge
long as it's
Pats
playable,
fan, yeah.
it's
I'm
fine.
I'm sorry.
It's definitely
that.
dead.
I hate
so.
that mentality.
Yeah, that one was pulled out to the behind the shed.
No, poor little guy.
Yeah.
Poor little fella. Well, such is life.
Mm.
All right.
But yeah, I'm not impressed with Overwatch
You
2.
you
Basically,
guys
it's like if you
don't-
call this a sequel, it's fucking.
You guys don't
bare
sound
bones and stuff.
hopeful at all that this will revive the
No,
series.
I mean I
Not-
never.
not
I'm probably the biggest hater out of the four of us. Mika, you excluded.
Good read.
So I'm,
good
I'm already like
I'm
on the
neither
negative side.
because I've never played it.
I know. That's why I said out of the four that have played it.
So again, these are the impressions. The internet, I guess, likes it and dislikes it at the same time. AKA, they like the changes.
Mhm.
They like the faster speed. Apparently, it's a more DPS heavy game. AKA, you're gonna die,
Mhm.
and there ain't no more like dead balls anymore that you could make before. So it's more like a first person shooter, if you will, rather than a tactical team game more. So you can actually do more hero plays where you can actually go and kill 2 or 3 people if you're really that good.
Yeah,
That's what it seems like.
all the terminology you mentioned, I have no idea what any of it
Perfect.
is, but I did my
Um,
best to understand.
It's one of those competitive team-based multiplayers, like League of Legends and all
I
those.
mean, yeah, like everything that's popular right now.
Yeah. We had fun with it for a long time, but that was the first game, not this one, right? I had fun with it.
Like again, there's only one game. Like
I mean, you know what I mean. Whatever.
It's like 5 years old at this point. It's like, you know.
like we're talking about like this thing is like, oh, well, this game's been here forever.
I don't
you
know.
know?
They just removed the freaking freeze in May. That's not in May anymore. McCree's not even McCree. That's a different game. You're talking different IP right now.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Caesar's out.
All right, let's move on. This is basically Overwatch 2. Once we get to actually play it, I guess we'll have more ideas on what we want to see.
If we play it,
I'll play it eventually. It's either
Yeah,
coming
I
to
know-
Game Pass or it's not
I
coming to
know.
Game Pass.
I know you
Uh,
will.
It's
not
gonna
gonna
come to
come.
Game Pass.
Okay.
Activision.
Even then, I
yeah.
still say it's still
Microsoft
gonna be a
phone.
free-to-play game somehow. That's my.
It
prediction.
should be. If
Yeah, I'm gonna get dragged as soon as it gets
I'll
free
be
to play.
honest.
I'm gonna get dragged.
If it goes free to play, this game will be. I think that might change everything. But
Change
I
everything.
don't anticipate that to be the case though.
Mm. All the
Hey,
Next.
but we can roll. Let's
all
go.
the big games like that now are free to play, and they just
All
make
right,
their money
we-
on cosmetics.
We should move on to our next topic. Sorry, so let's move on to our second appetizer for this week. And we're going to talk about PlayStation Plus. Particularly, we talked about it last week, all the changes they did to the PlayStation Plus subscription. We don't appreciate or like the changes they have proposed. Um, but we also have additional news that came out literally just the day before that they apparently made, Sony confirmed that they have blocked the stacking of codes
Oh my
of
goodness.
subscription codes. So basically, people knew that subscription changes were coming. People know that these changes are gonna. Sorry.
What do you mean
Excuse me,
by
I have something on my phone.
stacking of codes?
So basically, you have subscription cards, and those
Yeah.
subscription cards expire. But sorry, your subscription expires.
Yes.
You can buy subscription, and you can extend your subscription to expire in 2020 something or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you bought
So-
4 years of PlayStation Plus, you
Oh.
can stack them all and have it expire in 2026, right?
So they're like, because the new one's gonna be more expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, okay, that's okay. Okay, that makes sense.
So Sony's being greedy. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's basically.
I wouldn't say greedy. I would say dumb. like
Yeah.
It's
like
basically
the
yeah,
way
man,
they've done it. Like it makes sense what they've done. It's just the way they've done it. Like just fucking another fuck up, basically. But bro, go
because
ahead.
look, they were selling subscription cards on like, stores and things like that, right? But the problem is they're now saying that you can't stack them, aka
Mm.
you can't.
Didn't Game Pass explode because there was a huge deal of stacking at the beginning?
I don't think it exploded.
No,
When it
so-
exploded.
Oh.
That's how most of us got into it.
That's how I
in the
got 3
beginning.
years worth
Yeah,
for.
exactly.
for-
Yeah, me
exactly.
too.
That was like the selling point for a lot of us.
It wasn't
in
the
this
selling
group.
point. It was how Microsoft implemented the transfer from an old subscription to a new subscription, which
That's
was far friendlier than what
So,
Sony's doing.
yeah, so basically what Microsoft did before was that they said if you have an existing subscription, if you convert to the new subscription, you're just gonna get the time that you have converted over.
for $1.
The new subscription for $1. This new
Yes.
subscription was a lot more
Literally
expensive,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So you said like, screw it. If you have a current subscription, you can convert to $1 and upgrade, and the time that you have on the cheaper subscription, we're gonna allow you to convert. The trick is the Xbox subscription only allows stacking up to 3 years.
Yeah, that's the
Microsoft
other-
doesn't allow
that's the other
anymore.
piece, right?
Sony didn't have a limit on stacking. The trick was that you can stack up to 10 years at the lower
On
price.
Sony. Okay.
and Sony would be like, fuck it.
okay.
Um,
Okay, I gotcha.
And they're going back on their word.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't say they're going
no,
back.
there's
it's just
no
how
word like
it's
that. It's just,
implemented.
yeah,
Okay.
it's how it's being implemented kind of
They're
thing.
changing the subscription from an old subscription. Right, the subscription is changing. They're gonna have tiers. They're gonna have I think the
Sell it
base
to me, baby.
Mhm.
the base subscription is still the same. But for the ones that have multiple, like both subscriptions, right? They could merge both of them and become premium or whatever. Or if they only had one, then depending on which one you had, like PS Now for some reason, even though it costs cheaper than PS Plus, doesn't it, bro?
Yeah.
Or right?
Actually, they
like-
cost the same technically a year, but it's
It's
weird.
about the same, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Even if they cost the same, for some reason, PS Now originally they said it's gonna be the expensive. It's gonna
Oh,
be
shit.
the equivalent of the expensive version of the premium subscription, while PS
That's
Plus
so
is just the base
complicated.
subscription. So people, a lot of people, probably
Yeah.
bought a bunch of the PS Now and stacked them, right, to have
now
the
they're
premium
together.
subscription moving forward for half the price
Yeah.
for years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess Sony didn't like that shit, so Sony went like, nope.
Oh,
So any old codes that you have, and bro, you probably have the information
they
in front of you.
returned them the money or something.
Yeah,
No. They basically like I don't know how you do it, but you need to
sorry.
like redeem the code and get like a credit for the new subscription model, right?
Oh,
And it's
okay.
like if you redeem a 30-day PS Now code, you get 14 days or 17 days, something like that. I forget the number of PS Premium, whatever.
So you're just paying not half. Like,
Yeah, fucking
okay,
they made it equitative instead of like
yeah.
advantageous for the consumer.
Yeah.
Now, technically, you're paying what you're gonna be utilizing.
They're adding
in the
more
future.
stuff, right? They're adding more stuff.
They will be right when they
Yeah.
have the subscription, but like the there's no deal or benefit for the consumer. Now it's just a near 1-to-1 gain for Sony. Microsoft didn't do any of that. Microsoft said like, you want to transform it to the new subscription for $1? Sure, all 3 years. Fuck it. You know, that's gonna cost them like $180 per person or more. Fucking right. Just some rough math. That's probably more than that. And they were like okay with it, right? Like they're changing a subscription. That's like what they did, and Sony is not doing any of that. Sony's like, nope, you can't use your fucking codes anymore. We're gonna put a block to that. The thing is, they didn't even announce it. They just straight up blocked it. So people trying to redeem the codes, they're like, my code is not working.
They just blocked it. I was like, yeah, my code doesn't work. And Sony, so it took like 3 or 4 days before Sony was like, yeah, we're blocked that shit, so you guys couldn't upgrade. They didn't say anything though.
I agree that the way they did it sucks. Very bad.
Very unfriendly. Very unfriendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, let's do this in secret, and we'll just take as long as we can before we tell anybody what happened, you know, and hopefully we can.
and they because they allowed multiple years of stacking. For example, Manny and I think are paid for what 5 years, Manny.
2026.
2026. I see people paid full, like premium, to 2031, 2030. So they had like 10 plus years paid because they basically said I can get it for 60, what it'll cost me 180 according to Sony's price.
So I mean, now you don't get that like any benefit on China stack. You lost the window. You might as well just pay the price or whatever if you want to upgrade. I would wait until we see it. If it's beneficial, Eric and I knew this from front, so we just like, yeah, man, let's just do it, right? We know it's gonna be cost effective. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. It's cost effective.
For you,
I'm still full of regrets.
For our
I don't know if it's gonna be worth it.
I'm super not worth
but
it.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's Sony. They ain't gonna give you shit, dude.
We're getting it for half off. But Sony being Sony, and the recent track record and trajectory that they've had is very alarming.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like we're Microsoft fanboys at this point. I mean, but like Sony still nails it on the software side and all that stuff. Yeah. But like all these moves are like, why? Like why you just like, yeah, I know it's a business, but like you're really fucking over your customer. You know, like it feels like
you're playing with your customer loyalty too. Yeah.
And it's not that they did it; it's how they did it. Like if they would have fucking planned it, you know what I mean? Like sat down for a fucking meeting. That's it. Just have the key people in that fucking meeting. Sit down. Yeah. All right, what do we do with our existing subscription base? We have 2 subscription models, and we're moving on to this model. What do we do? How do we handle it? Fucking let's nail it out. Oh, let's give him 3 weeks instead of the full month if they own both, right? Like, and if they would have said that from the beginning, it would have been like, okay, that's fine. That's a little fair. It's I don't get much benefit, but it's fair still, right? But no, they're like at the beginning they're like, oh, PS Now people get full subscription.
Yeah.
PlayStation Now fans.
2 weeks later they go back on that, and then like the next day they like
nothing.
The next day they cut off the fucking codes, and it's like,
and it's like what Manny's saying is that they seem to have had no plans. It's basically like, oh shit, people can take advantage of PlayStation Now because the most subscriptions cost the same, and they can stack them infinitely. And it's like they didn't think about this. It's just like
my next one is April of next year.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna go down to the base because you don't have PS Now, right? It's just gonna be base subscription.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like that's how it's gonna be in the future, right? If you knew about this and you're like, oh, this PS Plus or the PS whatever, the premium, looks appealing, right? The 2-hour demos or whatever the hell. Let me
which comes out
stack
in a
up
month,
before
and we
they
know
change it.
nothing of any demos.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, hey, you can play PlayStation 4 games, God of War.
It's like the different departments are not fucking talking to each other at all, dude.
100%.
It's like, oh, we could launch like in 2 months. Like we're good on track to like actually have the the system in place for the new subscription model. That's like the development side, and then like marketing and like the people in charge have no fucking clue, and they're like, oh fuck, okay, yeah, sure, let's make some news. Do a press release, like no plans whatsoever, no talking it over. Fucking yeah, around June it's gonna come out. Right?
This happened with the PlayStation 5 launch.
Sony
Literally, it was a
America.
month before launch, and we didn't even know if it had backwards compatibility because they never fully stated out. It'll have it. They're like, yeah, we'll have some backwards compatibility. That's literally what they said. A month before launch.
Yeah, I thought that was funny,
and they still didn't confirm that.
They were playing chicken with Microsoft, and I think they lost. They're like, fuck, 400, we're going to have to go down and take a big loss.
Big time, dude. They played so much chicken with Microsoft. And they did it. They basically said, we're going to drop you no matter what. We're going to undercut you. And by the way, Microsoft is outselling them, at least in the US, by the way. Because there's more Xbox sales than there are PlayStation. This is just what it is.
Dude, that special, I bet that special super cool liquid metal cooling system, like that cost them a lot of efficiency when they were getting these things, manufactured.
We shall see what happens. The PlayStation 5 is prime for a goddamn reduction in size. It's a goddamn tower.
It's massive, dude.
Clearly as big as my 20. It's bigger than my 32-inch monitor. You know where tower
it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
How big it is. Okay.
It looks like Cell's head from Dragon Ball.
We can probably move on to our final appetizer because I want to move on to our appetizers and meals. What happened?
It looks like no. The meme was that it looked like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!
The jacket. I love it so much. He was perfect. Have you seen the pictures?
It was so great, dude.
I want to send that on the chat. Okay. So that's it. That's it for now. It's just scummy it doesn't seem like they knew what they were doing, and they announced something, and I was like, did you guys think about this? I was like, of course we did. I'm like, did everybody in the company know what you were doing? Like, well, no. I mean, the marketing department is independent.
There you go.
Right. So let's move on.
It's rather stupid.
Let's move on to our third and final appetizer for this week, and this will drive us to our third parties discussion. Let's talk about Square Enix. Particularly, this is our big news. We've been talking about acquisitions all year. It strikes again. Apparently, Square Enix has sold off its Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and the studios behind them to Embracer Group, which is a company that they actually own. They actually now control over 100 video game studios developers.
Dang.
Over 100.
I didn't even know who they were.
They're like silent but deadly.
They've been collecting everything. It's like slowly, little by little, they're like, wait a minute, what?
That's funny.
Yeah. They have so many game developers. It's literally insane. They're literally one of the biggest companies. They're, by the way, a Swedish media holding company. And right now they control over 100 studios, including THQ Nordic, Gearbox, Saber Interactive, and now Crystal Dynamics, Eidos, and all these studios.
Koch Media.
Right? It's actually kind of insane. Like they're literally becoming one of my favorite third-party developers. Go ahead.
What is like the most, famous game that they own or franchise or whatever?
Probably Borderlands.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I mean, Tomb Raider now, I guess.
Tomb Raider really good. And Deus Ex is delicious, if you ask me.
The other big ones I would say are like Darksiders, and those are pretty niche already, like Darksiders and Saints Row. Saints Row is
Dark,
pretty big.
Darksiders is pretty niche.
Saints Row though, they own that. They own Duke Nukem.
Ooh. They could
I just
compete
I
with
was
Doom.
like I've never heard of these people. Who are
But
they?
it's even like small companies, like for example, Little Nightmares, which is an indie game that's known. That's them. Biomutant, which we've talked about it in the past. That's actually published by THQ Nordic, which is Embracer. And it's little by little. You'd be surprised. You have games that they own that they published. They just don't publish them under Embracer. They publish them under all these other companies. THQ Nordic is a big one.
Deep Silver is a big one too.
Yeah, Deep Silver. When you hear Deep Silver, it's actually Embracer.
What about that?
When you hear
Coffee Stain
Gearbox,
Holdings?
it's Embracer. When you right, like it's all,
and a couple of indies. Yeah.
yeah, they're just owned by this giant conglomerate, but they surprise. They're Koch Media is one of them. Saber Interactive, even Dark Horse Media, the comic book publisher, right? So the things like that, they control. That's what I'm saying. World War C, that's them. So yeah, little by little, you definitely played games that are on the umbrella. So let's get on the Square Enix thing.
If you're interested, I made a list in a document of a lot of IPs that. There's a lot more than that, but like
it's probably a lot
bigger,
more.
recognizable.
It's kind of very large.
More.
Real quick, yeah.
I grabbed like less than a quarter. I feel like,
but
a lot of them are like,
yep.
I don't know, some random.
Some of my favorite games.
Some strategy
game.
Own
two of my favorite franchises right now.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Let's
talk the news. Yeah.
Let's talk the news. So Square Enix decided to sell Crystal Dynamics, Eidos, and Square Enix Montreal, the three studios, and the attached IPs that those developers usually work on, like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, to Embracer. So what does this mean? So basically, apparently they entered into an agreement to buy these studios and the related IPs. For example, Thief, Legacy of Kain, they now own it. And they sold it. The Square Enix sold them for $300 million. That's it.
Wow.
And I'm saying that's it because you're like, that's a lot of money. Not based on the billion word we've used in the past.
This is why we should have saved more money so we could buy our own.
That's still a lot of money.
Yeah,
still a lot of money.
Yeah, but like when it first came out, literally, we were like.
But
like that is cheap. That is cheap.
But well, it is cheap because, for example, look at this. Sony bought Bungie, one studio that do basically one game.
Yeah.
And how much do you think it cost them?
I remember it was like billions of dollars.
But they have so they're buying the subscriber base.
$4 billion. But these are three AAA studios, and let's be frank. The Tomb Raider franchise, for example, the new trilogy, recently in the last generation, done by Crystal Dynamics, sold 38 million copies.
I played the first two. They were good. I had issues with them. I had issues with them, but overall they were fun games.
Yeah, I love them. They're my favorite games from the generations. I'll be frank. I'm a huge fanboy. So
the story.
Can I give you another example of an acquisition? Embracer Group themselves recently acquired, like 2 years ago, I think, Gearbox for what was it, 1.3 million? I had it somewhere and I lost it, but
million?
Billion, 1.3 billion.
1.3 billion, yeah.
So they're a big group, damn.
And Gearbox, all they have is the publishing arm and Borderlands.
That's it.
I think they own like Perfect World. That might be like a hidden, very expensive thing too.
Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider.
So Tomb Raider was sold. Everything at Tomb Raider for 300, including a bunch of other games. So it really is a extremely good value. In my opinion, because Tomb Raider is a huge franchise.
It was
Eric.
It was like going out of business sale. That's what it was.
Yeah, going out of business sale. We'll get into it. Cesar, what's up?
But it is really what these developers in this group can actually get out of all these IPs they're getting, right?
We'll get into that. We'll get into that because there's probably a reason why, or multiple reasons why Square Enix was actually selling them, and at this price. Because to be perfectly honest, I would have expected at least Tomb Raider alone was going to cost you $300 to $500 million. The IP.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie franchise, it's a comic book franchise, it's everything franchise. It is a known. Lara Croft is a known name.
Yep.
Okay. Let's be honest. In terms of video games, like she's up there.
She's an icon.
Right?
Definitely an icon.
Right? She's there. Multiple movies, 3 movies, and a 4th movie coming out. So that's a big deal. But here's where it gets into tricky. So apparently Square Enix's reasons for selling Crystal Dynamics and Eidos and all these IPs was because apparently they're looking to invest in blockchain, AI, and the cloud. And apparently they wanted to maximize revenue. So what does that mean? So apparently they wanted to maximize revenue, and apparently, according to an analyst for a financial group, they estimated that apparently Square Enix lost around $200 million. This is in losses. Just on the 2 Marvel games that came out in the last year and a half, in the last 2 years. So Marvel Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. Development costs, whatever that did, apparently Square Enix lost $200 million. So apparently Square Enix basically saw this and saw these developers as just, you guys are costing us money. Your games aren't selling. You are our negative outlook on our portfolio. We need to get rid of you in case Square Enix wants to look more appetizing for somebody else.
It's their damn fault, by the way. It's their damn fault.
It is completely their fault.
They botched the Avengers game with microtransactions. They just got so greedy
on live services.
And the Guardians game was amazing, but because it literally looked like the Avengers game, people immediately judged it negatively.
Plus, the marketing was pretty crap.
Yeah, but it was just perception. It was a perception like a year later, you're releasing another game on this crappy game that nobody liked because it was like games as a service. No, and surprise, surprise. Yep.
And that is what Overwatch is up against too. Like they're
big time.
They're
big
in that place. I think it's a lot like that.
Yeah, perception of past bad experiences
I love
will ruin you. Cyberpunk. I'm sorry.
Oh my God,
not trusting CDPR for anything.
It's important.
At all. Neither do I. Will I trust EA again with anything Battlefield, right? And DICE. That's it. That's it, right? And I should have, but
I've lost so much trust over the past 5 to 10 years that I only literally Nintendo is sketchy, but I still kind of trust them. They're just kind of weird about it. But literally like 2 developers, dude, and that's it, or 2 publishers. That's
and all it takes is a really bad game to ruin a franchise. Or a really bad movie.
Yeah, From and Capcom, dude. That's it. And Capcom's fighting game arm is questionable at best.
It is. Gilbert, you should be worried about Street Fighter 6. No offense.
What about Capcom?
You should be worried.
Big time.
Why?
Did you see what happened with Street Fighter 6? 5?
What do you mean?
The launch. Garbage. Remember that game at launch? Not now. That's 5 years later.
Man, you guys gotta let it go.
That
okay?
sticks. No. There's no letting it go. That sticks. Even if we personally let it go, that sticks with the majority of the crowd.
Yes.
That that burn sticks. It's like these motherfuckers released.
You guys need to understand.
Not even a beta.
No, just hear me out. Like 90% of the fan base goes straight to online. So it's like, yeah, you're right. They should have had
the fan base, but not of the consumer, dude. There's a lot more people that buy the game and play it, even if it's just for the storyline, right? Like the amount of casual players outweigh the pro or the hardcore fan base. A ton. Like,
unless you're trying to be like League of Legends and make like a huge character which Overwatch has the potential to be as big as League in the universe. I don't know.
Well, they have a league. That's good enough.
Yeah, but
we detoured. So, I mean, this is still relevant to the main topic, but we're
detouring a little in terms of the main topic. Let's go back a little bit about Square Enix, particularly. These are some of the rumors. So one of the rumors was that, and this is from a journalist that has done a lot of rumors in the past. He's been right on a lot of things. Jeff Grubb. and he basically said that one of the big acquisition rumors, because there were so many rumors probably going around in the last year that these publishers, these journalists have heard in the grapevines, was that Square Enix was going to be acquired by Sony. That seems to be the case almost in the games that they release, because basically all the games that Square Enix is announcing are exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, they have
like Forspoken.
They have a long history.
Final Fantasy. All the things are PS5 exclusive, except for PC.
They have
that's also coming for PC.
long history of exclusivity.
Correct. So that's apparently the thing. So this may just be Square Enix, and this is me putting my conspiracy hat on. Square Enix just being, if we get rid of this arm that's costing us money, will we be acquired by Sony easily? So maybe Sony didn't want that part. It's like, we don't want those developers. Crystal Dynamics, we already got Naughty Dog. They do the same thing.
They wouldn't want Tomb Raider.
It's Sony, man. I mean, assuming, right? As we're assuming, or maybe they just wanted to clear the books. We don't know. It's odd to me. Like, if I was Microsoft, I would have at least matched this offer.
I tried to
Not
sell.
double.
It could be. You said Sony, but it could be Sony Japan.
Well, it could be. You know what it could be?
Correct.
It could be Microsoft.
Maybe.
Let me tell you
Microsoft
something.
definitely want to.
Let me tell you something.
You know the funny thing I mentioned? Go ahead,
Square Enix. I'm gonna say this real quick. Out of all the Japanese developers and publishers, Square Enix is to me like one or two. Like that.
The belle of the ball. Yeah, Square Enix is very successful, right?
Yes,
They
and
can lose
they would
200 million twice and still be alive.
Would gain like a huge foothold in Japan right off the bat. So
If Microsoft can do that,
yeah,
do you think they have the cash?
I
don't know if they have the cash right now. I don't know if they have it right now.
If you're talking country-wise, Square Enix in Japan, it's like royalty, compared to like here.
Correct. So like if they want to invest and like they said they want to do and branch out as they're saying, buying Square Enix is definitely one way to do that for sure. So anyways, 2 cents on that.
Competing against Sony though, and Sony really wants it.
Sony has a very good, like Eric said, like they have a really good relationship with Sony over the years. They have a lot of exclusives.
A long history of exclusivity. You're talking more than 20 years.
Correct. Yeah. So it's I'll be honest, it's highly likely that it's if it's between Microsoft and Sony, I would say Sony's going to be the one.
I would not be surprised if that happened. Like people, I not only surprised, a lot of people would have been like, "Didn't they already own it?"
Right.
They're already exclusive.
They're already.
I know.
That's what I was thinking. Like they already have exclusive.
When's the wedding gonna be?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like you've been dating for years. So it's like
you've been dating for years.
It's like, where are the kids? When are you gonna give me grandchildren?
A long relationship.
Yeah. So that's basically what's going on with the Square Enix thing. We can talk a little bit more about this acquisition, or do we want to move on to our main topic and actually talk about Square Enix as a whole?
Move on.
Because we kind of already been doing that.
Move on.
Yeah, other than like any theories as to why Microsoft didn't buy, or
we'll get into it. Okay, so let's move on.
That's still regarding the acquisition.
No, we'll get into Square Enix. So what is their future?
No. I was talking about the iDos and
this acquisition.
Yeah.
You see, I honestly think, and this is me being super negative, Square Enix is a Japanese company. They just didn't want to talk to Microsoft. They could have shopped this around. They could have shopped this around, and they could have gotten a lot more. They did not shop this around. This is the trick. They didn't shop this around. They talked to one person, and they offered the money. I was like, it's good enough. Take it. That's at least what it feels like, because honestly, this is a really good take. These are really good studios.
It's a really good deal.
I could see EA buying
a bunch of good IPs.
Compared
to EA buying it easy for that price, right?
Easily. I could have seen EA, Ubisoft.
At least
Capcom.
Legacy of Kain. God damn it. We've been waiting
to Bungie,
man. Years for something
like this is such a huge purchase. It really
is. So this is the thing. I just think Square Enix didn't shop them around. You could have gotten a lot more, and I'm saying a lot more with a B, for this deal.
A lot
I just,
more with
for some reason,
E.
it almost feels like they rushed through it to get it done,
Yeah.
so that they could then do something else and get it done soon.
Before E3.
Or something like that. Something's going on, yeah.
Like, oh, Microsoft has the presentation coming in June. Early June. Fact, we need to do this now.
It's like no,
Boom.
it's like some sort of contract that for Final Fantasy 16 that if by June of this year you don't sign an exclusivity deal with Sony all full time, it comes to Xbox in a year or two, and they're like Sony's like no, never. Let's buy Square Enix before that. Something's going on.
They went like Elon Musk and purchased it.
It's definitely off-putting considering all the recent acquisitions, all the acquisitions over the past 5 years, and this one just like perplexes you, you know, like what 300? What? That's a lot of IP and developers for that price, you know? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they? Even WB was selling for like 4 billion, and that's like 4 developers, I think, 4 big developers.
Yeah, that was crazy. They were really shopping that around for
no IP,
billions.
Just the developers.
No IP, just the developers. And they were like 4 or 5 billions what they were shopping them around, if not
well,
more.
maybe it might have been like Mortal Kombat, right? Like there might have been some IP, but not
Mortal Kombat, yeah, but not like Harry
most of their
Potter.
stuff is licensed. Yeah, most of their stuff is licensed.
or the big licensed games that they're playing. They're working with. So.
Well, Lord of the Rings, that's fucking massive.
Yeah, so it's just weird because this is again, it's Deus Ex. That's a big IP. Legacy of Kain, as you mentioned, even though it's not popular anymore, I guess. Tomb Raider's huge.
They killed
that
it.
alone.
I don't know what Square Enix relationship with Microsoft is.
Tomb Raider, because it's so popular.
This is the interesting thing. They announced a Tomb Raider not like about a month ago, a new Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And Square Enix did that. And it almost seems like they just announced it so they could pump up the price. But then you look at the sales number and it's like, that's it. That's what you needed to do to bump up the price, and this is what you got. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just it feels like there's more deals under the table or something.
Yeah, we'll see it over the coming months. Dude.
There's something happening.
Something is looming.
There's something there.
Either way, all right. We can move on. Let's talk about our main topic. So let's talk about the pre-E3 discussions on third parties. So we will be moving on to our main course. All right. So for this week's main course. Let's go over. Basically, we wanted to go over we're probably gonna do this quicker than we probably would have liked, because as we get to E3 or the lack of, we wanted to go into like pre-discussion of E3, even if anything predictions. However, we don't even have a schedule of what shows are gonna be on. Nobody's announced anything except for Xbox and Microsoft. So with that, we can start off talking about the various third-party publishers, what we think we're going to see from them, if there is some sort of show. By the way, there is Xbox and Bethesda. Let me talk real quick about what's already being announced, if you will, for the E3 period. So Xbox and Bethesda, so both combined, announced on Sunday, June the 12th, they're going to have their, I guess, annual conference when they go over all the things that they have for the year. It'll probably definitely highlight Starfield, which is coming out this year.
Yeah, baby.
Right. Another show, the PC gaming show, that's also happening the same day. We don't have a time yet, but they've actually stated that they are going to have it on the June 12th as well as the Future Games show, which basically they're separate, even though they're the same thing apparently. The PC gaming show and the Future Games show, they're basically tied to the hip somehow. But they're happening the same day, by the way. Probably going to happen after the Xbox thing. They're probably happening in the afternoon. We also have Summer Game Fest. This is Geoff Keighley's. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah, Jeff.
All right,
Yeah.
Geoff Keighley. He's I guess annual E3 competition, because he's basically doing that.
Yeah, the summer.
And last year he had a really good show. He's actually probably one of the best shows.
Literally all he had was the Elden Ring trailer, and it was like, oh, amazing! Clap!
And I'm showing my
Winner!
GG.
pretty much. So Summer Games Fest. We'll see if it gets bigger now. There's no E3 itself. But again, E3 is basically did it wasn't necessary. Usually we get a Ubisoft forward or whatever they're called. That's a Ubisoft presentation. Direct Devolver also usually has a presentation. And we don't know if Sony will do a state of play or Nintendo will do a direct. And those are basically the things that we usually hear when we get closer to E3. Right now, again, only the PC Game Show, Future Games, and Xbox has been officially announced. And Summer Games, but we don't have a date. And that's it. That's basically what we know about this E3. So we're going to talk about the status of the different third-party developers, at least some of the main ones. And we're also going to talk about what we expect, particularly as to where we come next month. So with that, let's just dive into Square Enix. Particularly, let's talk about some of the IPs that they have. They no longer have Tomb Raider, so we can exclude that from the conversation. What else does Square Enix have? Any guesses from anybody?
I'm gonna leave it to the
Japanese
RPG aficionados.
Thank you.
RPGs.
Anybody
JRPGs.
can tell me any other IP Square Enix owns?
Mika,
JRPG.
14.
That's not Tomb Raider.
What?
Now.
Nier Automata.
Why that one?
Final Fantasy.
Let it go. Let it go. It happened.
It works.
Anything else?
What do you like?
Any IP that Square Enix owns that you can think of.
I said Nier. I
Nier,
got one.
perfect. That's a good point.
Final
Mika.
Fantasy.
Thank you. There you go.
There you go. There you
In the
go.
room.
That was the elephant in the fucking room.
This close to having a heart
Like
attack.
I'm like it
More
was
like
so,
enough.
I was like, is it a trick question? What
It's
else
not a
could it
trick
be?
question. It was like, somebody please say it.
Somebody please say Final Fantasy. Yeah. So obviously, Final Fantasy, things like Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts, even Outriders. The brand
They
coming out
kept,
with an
so they
expansion,
kept, I
right?
put those three there because they kept from the deal, they still managed to keep Outriders, Life is Strange, and Just Cause, right? Out of the
Okay.
Eidos.
Yeah.
selling
So
off.
again, they have some IPs. Obviously, Final Fantasy is the biggest IP. What
Final
do we
Fantasy is a
think
huge
we will
IP.
see from Square Enix, both coming at E3, and what do we think the state of Final Fantasy as a whole is?
Disney level.
Like Kingdom Hearts,
Disney
or
level.
Final Fantasy is Disney level. I think the Final Fantasy universe is a huge IP, and it's gonna be a cash cow for a long time.
It already is.
Yeah, for a long time. It's gonna continue.
Yeah, a longer time, Gilbert. A longer time.
As long as they make good decisions.
I mean, Eric has been saying it for like a long time now. Like they're gonna keep milking that cow. like how many Final
saying-
Fantasy games were announced? Oh, 7? That's not
I
Final
keep
Fantasy
saying
7. I mean,
there
7
are
different
now
games.
two
Star
mainline
Wars.
Final Fantasy series. The Final
Star-
Fantasy name as a whole, 16, 17, 18, whatever, and Final Fantasy 7. That's going to be a completely new series. That's just
Yeah,
completely
Getting us
separate
much
line.
love.
Okay?
It's gonna start branching.
It grew a mind of its own, literally.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I
So
say.
okay.
That's it.
So Final
And
Fantasy
mobile.
by far the biggest thing. There is, and we've been waiting a long time to see Final Fantasy 16. A long time. Like the last time it was
Like
shown
2 years now.
was
huh?
like 2 years, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
And I keep reading reports. I mean, it was delayed like late last year. Like late last year, they had a report like we had issues, and then like a week ago, like Final Fantasy is close to end of development, like 16. I'm like, what the fuck? Did they like ramp up real fast after they sorted out the issues and like, well, now like it's almost done. Like if that's true, we need to see fucking 16. There's no
Yeah.
There's no
That's a
fucking
good
doubt
one.
we don't see
I want to
16.
see that. I want to see that.
I doubt that we'll see 16. I will say it. I'll be the one
How?
that's saying that
Really?
shit
Wow,
is
it's
20.
It's been more than a
It's-
year, right? Since
It's
the last
them.
one?
I don't trust them at all. They announce something. They work on it they start working on it for 4 years. They reboot it halfway and don't tell us anything, and then they release something in the last year. I'm
They had
expecting
gameplay
16 in like
showing
2024
The
at
last
the
time
very
it showed.
I hear
Yeah.
I hear rumors that it's like, oh, it's done, it's almost ready to go. But I don't trust anything. They don't share anything. I don't trust them at all.
Well, I mean,
But that's I hope I'm wrong, but I don't trust them.
At
It's
least
gonna
you can
run on the
trust them to deliver a finished product.
yeah.
Final
worry, it's
Fantasy
gonna run-
wise, I don't
the-
think there's a Final Fantasy that's ever come out. A main Final Fantasy that's come out broken.
15 I disagree, and so would 14.
Man, that
14
was
was perfect.
MMO. Those
Shut
are
up.
MMOs. Those are
And it
MMOs.
was
15 is not an MMO. 15 is not an
But it
MMO.
was
That's why I
broken
mentioned it.
when it
They did
came
it,
out.
man.
I don't
The
recall
second
that
time
at
they
all.
did it, it was
I don't
perfect.
recall that at all. I don't recall that.
15 came out on like towards the end of the game. It's like, what the fuck happened to the story? You know, it like fucking went weird fucking directions, and then they like fix it with patches. They definitely like rushed that fucker out. Like you could see, like
Okay,
that should have waited another 6 months before release. 15, 14. Don't even get me started. We know the
So-
story.
So
It was so bad.
I'm
We had to
going
fucking
agree to
reboot the
better.
motherfucker.
let me rein in the Final Fantasy conversation because this could take
get
forever.
this stupid conversation.
So we have Final Fantasy 16. Hopefully, we see it this year. Is there any other thing
They
Final Fantasy that isn't
have
a
to.
remake of the 1 through 6 all over again every
So-
other year?
They already did it. They already remade 1 through 6.
And they'll
just
do it
last
again.
year. No, I mean you need to give them a couple of years, man. It's not that milk. It's not that
no.
milkable.
They're gonna release them for the next gen versions. Like, ooh,
Oh, okay.
the
Not like
PS5
the
and Xbox,
pixel old versions, like proper remakes,
Correct.
like 7, if you will. You know, with 3D
Oh,
graphics
no,
and shit
that's
and
not gonna
changes
happen.
and.
Again,
They're gonna be running
I don't
on
think
the
they're
blockchain.
gonna do.
Look, the 7 once
I
Square
really
Enix
like
is done with
7.
Final Fantasy 7 and the 20 games they plan to make in like
With it?
2055, they'll move on to Final Fantasy 8. Okay,
Why 8? Like
because
6 has
they're
probably
I
a bigger
would
fan base.
totally play an 8 remake. Just
6 is
saying.
probably like a bigger clamoring for remakes.
What
than-
about 9
Yeah.
and 10?
I would say
8 would
No,
come
I would
before
say
9.
6.
They will
Maybe
move on to
10,
9
like
and
10
10, but this is 2060, 2080.
And
We'll
8,
be alive by then.
yeah, 8, but 8 is like it has like a lot of
Under-
negative feedback.
Under
like,
the
you know,
Square Enix Mars
8? I love
branch.
8. 8 super popular.
Mars branch. Yeah.
it's
Because I'm
they're all
expecting
fucking
Mars to be
popular.
part of the Planetary Alliance.
Exactly.
I
That's
always
when that
thought
comes
it
from,
was set like fan favorite between those
Okay.
those 4. I mean, I'm biased.
Go ahead. No. Okay. Again, we're
So-
diving into the Final Fantasy
It
hole.
was
And we're-
7, 8, 10, 9. That's the order.
7.
you go.
Yeah, I know. That's the numerical order. That's not like the order of like
no,
most.
that's my
fan love.
favorite. The favorite 7, 8, 10, 9. That's me from best to worst, and they're
Well, I
all
said 8
good,
seconds.
excellent games.
No,
That's
it's
fine. But if you go to like Steam and you like read reviews and shit, like 8 is not as high as 6 or 10, not 10, 9.
Those
right?
reviews don't
Like,
count.
10's pretty good. It's
Okay.
pretty good.
Hey. Pineapples.
All right.
Pineapples.
Yeah, pineapples. But real quick, you cannot move from Final Fantasy
Pineapple.
until. Bro, do they show Remake 2 then if they don't show 16? Or is that also like. I think it's way too early for Remake 2, but
Dude,
that's like.
Remake 2, I think it's like literally pre-alpha. They haven't even
But
started.
they could fucking tease it. They teased fucking Kingdom Hearts. Fucking
Oh,
2
they'll
weeks
tease it.
ago.
They'll tease it, and it's gonna come out in 2026 at the end of the generation. I keep saying it. Everybody calls me crazy. I'm already proven right, by the way. I said the remake part 2 was not gonna come out in at least 5 years. I'm
There
already
you
like
go.
2 or 3 years after, so like, I'm already on the roll. I have this bet I have this in the bag.
All right.
All right, remake 2. I don't expect it. I expect, honestly, if I was them, I would show Final Fantasy 16 gameplay, at least something, and I would show
It's
a
due.
teaser for remake part 2. That's it. Just show a
That's,
teaser.
you do that,
You have to
that's
do nothing more?
massive.
Done.
You don't even
Done.
need all the other
You don't need anything
IPs,
else.
dude. That
you
is
already,
massive.
You don't even mention Kingdom Hearts because you already showed a teaser for Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
why didn't
4.
they save that? The 20th anniversary or whatever. Yeah,
I don't
forget.
even know. That's an excellent question. All right, let's move on to a couple of the other ones from Square Enix real quick.
Yeah,
Dragon
Kingdom
Quest. Should we expect anything from Dragon Quest?
They could wait another year.
All right.
I'd say they could wait another year. I'd say
Kingdom
Final
Hearts.
Fantasy is more due than Dragon Quest.
We're not
Yeah,
gonna get
we just
anything
saw Kingdom Hearts.
from Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna get anything else.
because we already got. That's it. We got a trailer that's CG, even
Yeah.
though it looks like gameplay live.
That's it. That's it. That's it for like 2 years. They're quiet for 2 years, and then we might see it again.
Okay. All right. I want to ask Gilbert. Gilbert, you mentioned Nier.
Yes.
Give me
For E3,
anything.
I don't think it's gonna be at E3.
Do you think Nier exists anymore? Do you think they're done with that series?
No, I think it was highly successful.
Which one?
Nier Automata.
No.
I mean, it led to Nier Replicant, a remake.
10 years later, almost, or something like 5 years later.
I don't
exactly.
know if it's ready or if it's time for that. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, they just released the expansion for Final Fantasy. I don't expect anything for the expansion. Honestly, I just feel it's gonna be like 7 remake being shown or something like that. You know,
16.
maybe more
16
Kingdom Hearts.
16.
What about? I mean, there's also like Forspoken and other games
I
that
would
they've
put
already
money on
announced,
16.
like Valkyrie, whatever the fuck. Valkyrie, what was
Yeah,
it?
Forspoken is
Elysium?
gonna be there for
Elysium?
sure. Yeah.
I want to see Forspoken.
What? Go ahead. Any
Released.
final things from Square Enix? I think we should
we
move
can
on.
only pick one game we predict about. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 16, and I
Yeah,
believe
16 is a
Manuel as
no-brainer.
well.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
7 remake too.
All right,
I'm gonna
Eric
say
Caesar.
Star Paradise 3, the resequencing.
I was
What is
gonna
that?
say. I was gonna say Star Paradise 3. The resequence. Right there. The resequence.
The resequence. What is Star Paradise?
I wrote everything. Then I got it.
Man is typing it in the back of the caption. It's because it's legit.
coming
By the way,
out
Caesar,
and
I'm with you. By the way, I also
Square
have a
Enix.
weird thing. I think Square Enix, if they don't get bought out by Sony, are gonna announce another one of these super weird Nintendo-specific RPG
That would be
cell-shaded
cool.
things. And it's gonna be something like
Like
Project
what?
Cell Phone Case Boombox
Okay.
3.67 -9. Literally like that.
All
We
right.
can see
Something
something
weird.
like that. I could see
Because that's what
some.
people like to do. Okay,
I
All right,
do
what's
love.
next?
that's it. So I think they actually saw something first for Nintendo. They give them a stick. All right, let's move on to another one. Let's move on to one of the other big
Shall
ones.
we do Embracer to cover the other half?
No, let's actually give us our break of talking about them.
Alright.
And then we'll miss
I
them
think
for the
they're
next 20
still-
minutes or
yeah.
an hour, and then we'll come back. All right, let me bring Ubisoft into this. Huge developer, right? Huge publisher. Assassin's Creed. Do we see? Thank you, Mika. Straight out of the bat, you knocked
That's what
the biggest
It's gonna
domino.
be on Assassin's
What do you
Creed.
expect?
It's been long enough after Valhalla. It's time.
Do you expect something from them?
Yeah. There's
Do you
rumors
expect
they're
that to be the games as a service Assassin's Creed World thing they teased?
I don't know, but there's definitely something. I would be surprised if there isn't anything Assassin's Creed related and not
Assassin's Creed Shogun.
The rumors are that it's gonna get set in Japan, actually. So, but I don't know what
But
it's called though.
Ooh.
You got almost a
Yeah.
South Park did it scenario there, but yeah, that could work.
So, Mika, if you never played Ghost of Tsushima, highly recommend. It's the exactly same thing. Same game.
It is literally this thing. Like,
It is literally
I feel
the
like
same game.
Ubisoft would be shooting Assassin's Creed in the foot if they do like a samurai era Japan when it's like, oh, but they already did it better 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not. If that's what it is, it's been in development for at least 4 years, 3 to 4 years. So it's not like they can backtrack about it. No,
I mean, maybe it's been in development that long. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But like,
development, from idea to research to actually start making the game for possible release this year. Yeah, they already know exactly what it is.
so Valhalla didn't come out that long. Like, it's only 2 years since Valhalla came out.
Well,
It's
they
not
just
like a
released
huge-
Valhalla. Just released a few months ago. Actually, a huge expansion.
but Ghost
Yeah,
of
that's
Which is basically a new game.
Ghost of Tsushima, was it like last year?
Yeah.
No, I think that was also
No, that was like
20 or
3 years
20.
ago almost. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was also 2020.
I just don't think it's kind of like the Princess and the Frog thing. Remember that movie came out when Obama won, and there were some idiots saying that Disney released a movie with a black princess because we had a black president, and everybody was like, "You fucking dumbasses! Movies take like 6-7 years to make an animated movie, especially by hand."
Yeah.
Movies don't take
Disney-
6, 7
Disney
years.
is powerful,
Just your
but they're
average-
not size. They're not the Simpsons. Actually, they own the Simpsons now.
South Park, you mean?
Yeah.
They're not
And they got-
psychics.
I got an episode in a week. Um,
I'll tell you what I'm predicting for Ubisoft. You remember
Whenever-
that?
Go ahead, Caesar. Go ahead.
You remember that Genshin Impact copycat game? What was it?
Immortals. Phoenix
Ah, they're
Rising.
they're
That's a
coming
good
up
game.
with
What is
something.
that?
They're coming
It's
up
a
with
great
something.
game.
Immortals.
Yeah,
Phoenix
it was a
Rising.
good game. Maybe they'll revive it. They'll come back and compete against Genshin again.
So we never talked about like the general state of Ubisoft, like we did with other fucking Square Enix.
so, well, we let's go a little bit over their games, and then we can talk about the state of their what they would do, or do we talk about them in
No,
general
I
first?
thought we were just talking predictions.
Well, we're doing both a little bit, at least for Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is such a fuck up right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're pretty stable, aren't they?
In the last couple of years, I'd argue not, because you had. Let me paint you a picture. They announced Ghost Recon, whatever the fuck, Battle Royale, right? Immediately after announcing it, they pulled that shit back, and they like fucking. They haven't canceled it, but they're like completely reworking it. I feel like the Skull and Bones game has been in development for like 10 years.
Wow.
Another
the
example.
example of development hell.
Yeah.
Development hell.
Yes.
Prince of Persia,
The
literally
prime
this week.
example. Oh,
During
fuck.
this week, Prince of Persia, they pulled it out of their I don't know, the developers that were working on it, and they're handing it off to Montreal to like. That's like another rework completely. And that game's been in development. First of all, it looked like ass like 3 years
Look
ago or
like
whatever.
ass.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out like 2019, right? And they delayed it, and they delayed it again, and now it's like, no, we're moving it from developers because this shit is not working. So like, Ubisoft has a lot of scenarios and cases where they're like doing bad, like just straight bad. Rainbow Six Extraction, another one that came out earlier this year. Well,
Last
that's
week.
a
Last
fucking-
week. We talked about the
Train wreck.
NFT game that they announced. Project Q crap.
Yeah,
They don't know what they're doing.
They pushed NFTs on Ghost Recon as well.
Yes. Tom
Some
Clancy's
idiot-
basically
they have
dead.
Some idiots running.
Fucking
running
they
around the
announced-
higher ups.
Tom Clancy Deviant X or whatever the fuck. Remember that? Where the fuck
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah, they announced a Tom Clancy Overwatch clone.
Yeah,
Damn.
they also had what's the battle royale that they released that they already canceled and shut the servers down?
Hyperscape or something.
Hyperscape, right? Like these are all within the past like three years.
Like year and a half.
They have been doing terrible,
Horrible,
like
horrible,
really,
horrible.
really awful.
Hey,
Like
hey,
I do not know how to explain it. Like
we-
outside of their big hitters like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, those are still nailing.
But
Like
Manny, you
fine,
mentioned
but yeah.
Skull and Bones, and we also Beyond Good and Evil 2 was announced like 5 years ago.
That one too. Like where the
Nothing.
fuck?
And by the way, they
Completely
keep
dead.
getting asked. They say that it's not canceled.
Yeah, they're still claiming it's not
Beyond Good and Evil too.
Yeah.
Hey, what you need to do is you need to start drafting programmers. Like football. Starts counting them in college.
All of this is on top of like all the awful news that you hear about like how they treat employees and you know the abuse. Like
These are your
the sexual
players.
abuse and all that stuff.
These are your
but it
players.
looks like all the gaming companies were involved in that.
I
Or most
don't
of
know about
them.
all of them.
Assholes.
Not
all
That
of
doesn't
them.
make it right?
Most
That's
of
no
them.
excuse.
No, but like Ubisoft management
Not,
went
I'm
through
not
huge.
excusing them. I'm just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that particular
It
problem.
has been. It's very
probably
like,
it's a
yeah, it seems
widespread problem
Been
in
with
the
humanity
gaming
for a long
industry.
time. It's
seems pretty
everywhere. It's
prominent.
everywhere.
in
It's a
gaming industry
prominent
because of
problem in
gaming
the
culture
gaming
or
industry,
whatever,
gaming
right?
culture.
Which is terrible. But so
It
far,
is,
only
it
two
is.
big companies. There's a lot of other smaller companies, but only two big ones, as far as I know, have been like, "Well, shit,
Yeah.
you fucked up. There's evidence against this, right?" Like, but yeah, so that's Ubisoft for you. The recent Ubisoft, right? And then you have Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which are doing okay, right? Like, which is what I
Yeah.
said. So I don't think either of those two are due. I think Valhalla because of all the other issues, or whatever's coming up next for Assassin's Creed is delayed to who the hell knows. Plus, it's a live service game, which I'm like, they don't know how to fucking. I don't know if they know how to do that.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed, they may be killing it soon.
Yeah,
I
might be
think so. Or I mean, Assassin's Creed is popular and it has a strong following, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and it may be time for Ubisoft to kill it if they populate it full of NFTs and shit. I was like, this is what the gamers want.
or turn
they
it
could do
into
it.
a survival game.
Isn't that like the NFT thing already like over and done with?
Oh yeah, people have really figured it out.
Like, the negative reaction to it is
they launched like this NFT program or something for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and they like already like not fuck it, that didn't work, or they're backing off already. Like that was like less than 2 months ago or something.
Yeah,
as a big company, you don't want to get into shady stuff like that. I don't know, especially when you're dealing with kids too. Like, don't get into that.
Yeah,
shady stuff.
So that was the status of Ubisoft. I just kind of wanted to fucking talk about it before I do a prediction or something because it's relevant to the prediction.
You can do it.
All right, I have a wish list. It's not really a prediction. I don't think this will happen by a long shot, but I will say I don't think Splinter Cell is happening. So there were rumors. I mean, there've been rumors for decades now. I'm giving up on Splinter Cell for this year. I'll maybe in 2 years I'll do it. I was kind of thinking what was the other one that was like heavily? Oh, Prince of Persia. That also fucking not happening, especially after this delay and shit. Or moving developers. I will wish for a new Rayman game. Whatever the fuck. Rayman, just give me Rayman. And I have zero confidence in that will actually happen because like the main Rayman creator left.
And I'm
right?
not
like
a
the main
Rayman
creator left.
player, and I think that would be nice.
We enjoyed that game. It was we played Rayman Legends, was it?
Who owns Spyro the Dragon?
Activision.
Okay.
Yeah. Microsoft soon. Ooh. All right. Eric and Gilbert, predictions for
Nothing.
Ubisoft?
They're dead. They say shit. They don't say anything. Not a single thing.
They're not doing Tom Clancy's.
Nada.
Cyber.
Nothing. Nothing. I seriously mean nothing. They're not gonna show up at all. They're like, fucking Ubisoft is dead.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna give you the freebie, the freest of freebies. Just Dance 2022.
No.
No.
Like that'll be like a Nintendo Direct, and that's it. Like a trailer in a Nintendo Direct. Other than that, they ain't doing nothing.
All right, Gilbert, you got anything?
I kind of, I'm like Eric. I kind of gave up on Ubisoft.
I'm now thinking back. If anything, a Rainbow Six new season pass. It's about
I'll say this: they'll probably do something with like the skateboarding or snowboarding game that they did, or some shit like that.
Some extreme sports game.
Yeah, some bullshit.
I mean, that's
like
technically
that.
under. Hey, you haven't fucked this up recently.
Honestly, what I want to see, it's obviously it's Beyond Good and Evil, but I don't know what's happening with that.
So they actually like 2 weeks ago, like they announced or they had a tweet. Like you remember that rollerblading game that they announced like fucking 4 years ago or whatever? It's gone gold, right? I'm like, what? I haven't seen this in like 4 years. Where is it? So yeah, you might get that extreme sports game.
Oh, nice. There you go, Gilbert.
All right.
Wishes have come true.
Gilbert with an extreme sports game. It's like Square Enix announcing a Final Fantasy mobile game.
Like Ubisoft is definitely not dead to me because I love Assassin's Creed, but I honestly have no idea what else they make.
Far Cry?
Far Cry, what the fuck? Like one of your favorite series.
Look, you guys know.
This is real.
You guys know that I'm just bad with like company names and all that stuff. But
yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say one of your favorite franchises right there.
I fucking love Far Cry.
A new Far Cry expansion?
Not enough to know the publisher.
Yeah, not enough to know the publisher. I fucking love Far Cry. And I still think it's too soon for them to announce a new one.
Yeah, I mean they released it last year.
Yeah, and it's so
wait.
good.
Oh, actually, hold the phone. For Far Cry games, they always do the mainline release, and like literally next year or within 2 years for sure, they do like a standalone expansion that just like they did a Blood Dragon, they did a New Dawn, right? For Far Cry 4.
Yeah, they did do that.
Or no, for Far Cry 5, they did New Dawn. I forget what they did for Far Cry 4, but Primal, right? Primal was the little expansion.
I even play Primal.
I'm just saying, like, Far Cry is actually not a bad choice now that I think about it. Shit.
It would be my second choice. Assassin's Creed would be my number one choice.
All right. Should we just go next?
Yep.
Next.
Yes, let's move on. All right, let's move on to pretty much the fan favorite here, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Let's go Capcom. Let's go Capcom.
Gilbert.
So okay, I want one
Yeah.
title from everybody. Go ahead, Mika. Sorry, what were you going to ask?
No, you said Capcom and I said Gilbert.
Street
Oh, yeah, no.
Fighter
First of all,
Street
I wanted to
Fighter
ask
6.
Mika. Okay,
Street Fighter
Gilbert.
6.
Thank you. Gilbert mentioned one franchise. I want everybody else to give me another one, starting with Mika. Mika, give me a Capcom franchise.
You assume I know what Capcom makes, except Phoenix Wright.
Which one? There you go.
That's a good one. There you go. That works. You said
Hey,
any
Cesar, give me one.
They are going to announce Monster Hunter
Not
World
a prediction.
2.
Just give me a
Oh,
franchise
my
and we can
God.
talk about it.
Oh, the Monster Hunter.
Well, he already said Monster Hunter World too.
That's okay. That's okay. So Monster Hunter World. Okay, fine. But Monster Hunter.
I think.
Right?
I
Manny,
think
I know you know this stuff, so I'm gonna have to quote you.
Yeah, I'm working on the document too. Like they're literally there for people to read.
Thank you. All right. So with that,
We don't have to do as big a status drop on this one.
yeah.
General status. I love Capcom. Like they've just been doing good shit for the most part. You know.
General status, we can basically say Monster Hunter is very active. They have a new expansion, Sunbreak, coming out next month, which we will be going ham on. I actually don't know how to continue that. So we have Street Fighter 6, so new Street Fighter coming in like 3 or 4 years, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as Jobert. He's like Street Fighter 6 is gonna be there. I'm like,
No. Like I honestly don't expect Street Fighter 6 this year, and I hope it doesn't because Street Fighter 5 still has a lot of life left in it.
it's not that it would come out this year. Is it gonna be shown right in any way during the E3? Let's say before August.
I don't know. That's a good. I don't think so. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like it's gonna be at the Capcom Cup, if anything, if that's a thing. So.
Or Evo. Isn't Evo like August?
Or Evo, correct. So.
It would make more sense for them to do that in Evo.
Yep. Evo.
It
or
might be
Capcom
Evo,
Cup.
but
Yeah.
we can talk about the state of it. So obviously Street Fighter is still alive. They've announced a new game. Monster Hunter is still pretty much active. They're one of the biggest franchises in gaming right now.
It's their biggest franchise.
Resident Evil is doing great, particularly with a particular character that they created that they didn't even think was going to be popular.
Well,
and
so
now
if it's not Street Fighter 6, I'm probably gonna say. Cap. You know what? I'll go around the room. I gotta think about it.
What about Mega Man, man? Mega Man is good.
Mega Man.
You know Mega Man? You know what Mega Man?
So do we get any Mega Man or anything, any kind in terms of
I want
like
Mega Man.
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, that one's good.
What about
No Mega Man.
Castlevania?
I want a
Okay.
Mega Man. I'll take it, Mega Man.
Castlevania's not Capcom. That's
God damn it!
Konami.
See, that's why I don't speak.
Castlevania maybe
could
coming up
ask.
soon. Next. Maybe coming up next. Just hold on for a minute. Okay. In terms of like status, any other ideas? Mika, for example, Capcom owns Devil May Cry.
Nah. I'll
Do
go with
nothing?
Phoenix Wright.
Nothing from it?
Nah,
Yeah,
I'll
Phoenix
go-
Wright? You
I'll
want
say-
something new Phoenix
yeah,
Wright? You
'cause I
expect?
would love some new Phoenix Wright.
All right.
It's
Do
been
you
a few
expect it
years.
or?
No, not at all.
I mean, it's fine if it's just a wish list item. No, if you don't have anything else.
Dude, even if it's that they because Phoenix Wright, the trilogy has been easily published in like the Switch, iOS and everything. but not anything after that. You cannot get the 4th game or the 5th game outside of the DS. So even them announcing that those games will be like the next pack trilogy for the Switch, that will be fucking amazing.
Okay.
Insane.
But do you expect them to do it similar to
No.
what they did with the trilogy and the old games?
No.
I'm gonna predict.
Capcom abuses like Capcom. I don't know. The Phoenix Wright games feel to me completely
I gotta
underused or appreciated, no matter how popular they are.
Manny, what are you doing? It's just those predictions. Like a wild.
No, he changed it himself. We're like chatting on the
they're
audio.
gonna I predict they're gonna announce a scary game.
What the heck
This
happened
Halloween.
here?
It's coming out for this Halloween.
Am I behind?
That's my official prediction.
Expand on it. What do you mean?
No, they're coming out with a new IP. But it's
new IP.
It's gonna be a scary game. It's gonna be a horror game. You see, Capcom's gonna announce.
I got the one game I want to see.
I like it, Caesar. Right,
Pragmata.
Ooh,
that was delayed, but they can show it.
Pragmata.
They can show it. I'm interested in what exactly it is. Like, we don't know what the hell it is.
So that's the game I.
Nobody does. Not even the developer.
Pragmata. Yeah.
Bro, you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
I can go next.
All right.
I have 1/2 predictions, and it is not as much as I would love this to be the case. Similar to like Splinter Cell, my hope is dead, and I will never do it again in terms of predicting. I'm not gonna go with Dino Crisis because they already announced.
They announced fucking Dino Crisis 2022, man. Like Exosuit, whatever the fuck it was called.
I'm not predicting that. In terms of predictions or things that I would look for Capcom, I have 2 things. In the fighting game arena, because they like to sometimes stack these things. I actually expect a new Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh.
They're gonna go back to 3v3, something like that, something simpler. That's like a smaller team within them. I think Marvel has been shown to be allowing people to use the IP, so that's no longer gonna be a challenge in terms of like Marvel, please let us create something. So I would expect a new Marvel vs. Capcom, and this is interesting, a new Strider Hyrule game.
That one's kind of mine.
I'm sorry. You can take it then.
I don't know. You can both predict it.
That's what I was going to say.
Mine is a little bit more generic. So mine was. I expect one of their old IPs that are kind of very niche to have some sort of revival, right? It's not really like old, but like dead. Let's say dead IPs that haven't gotten a game for like 6+ years, right? That isn't. Well, Mega Man has had a game, so that doesn't even count. So stuff like Strider would count. Ghosts and Goblins just had a recent one, so that doesn't count, right? So Strider would count. Dino Crisis would count, technically speaking. I think Bionic Commando. You have Okami, Onimusha, like stuff like that. But
the reason I say specifically Strider is because I see the games being re-released, like Ninja Gaiden that was recently re-released, remastered. I'm seeing all these like ninja games, and I'm like, Capcom has really not released a game particularly specific to that, like a fast action game since basically Devil May Cry 5. And instead of using a new Devil May Cry game and just being like, Devil May Cry 6, Dante is a grandpa. The feel, I'm thinking like Strider's like prime for like a ninja. He's got such a cool art style. Game basically writes itself in terms of like ninja. So, but what were you saying? You were saying something along the lines. That's what I was thinking. Like a full 3D Strider game. I was thinking like they would show it off like
big budget.
Show off.
That's
the kinda like semi like double A, but like not a re-release, like an actual full on, like a Ninja Gaiden stylish 3D ninja game. Done well. Like
For me,
Metal
not
Gear Solid Revengeance or something like that. Like going ham, like the Omicron Cry
for sorry, not re-release. I mean more like remake, right? So like Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, like it's almost like a remake of the original game, right? But it's basically its own game.
Yeah. Yep.
So something like that, but with I don't know, Okami as an example, right? Or Strider. But I wouldn't go full budget. No, small budget.
I'm expecting a full budget Strider.
Smaller
That's what I'm
budget.
predicting. I'm predicting a full on.
So we'll see which
Yeah.
Strider version you guys
Marvel
get.
vs. Capcom. You're gonna call it. They ain't getting for Marvel vs. Capcom 4. It's just no mistakes there.
No Infinite. No
hyphen. No nothing. Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Just like
Marvel
that. Bam.
versus Capcom 4.
They are going. They are
Stay
direct.
in the
Will they have X-Men characters?
Oh, dude,
Yes.
they need them.
They're actually, honestly, I think they're gonna base it completely on the comics. They're gonna go with Camilla Khan. We're gonna all these characters that it's like, use the comics. Forget about the movies. Forget about the popularity of the MCU. Just go.
I mean,
grab me some comic book characters. Put them in the band.
That's what they did with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They had shit like Dormammu and Blackheart.
Correct, and that's what they should be doing.
But Blackheart on 2 and Spiral, was it? You know, stuff like that. Like, rather.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
a photo ride.
So that's it. That's basically what I want from them. I expect these two things. This is basically my predictions to these two. Like a new action game, ninja game, and a new fighting game, not Street Fighter, but actually Marvel vs. Capcom. And Marvel vs. Capcom is going to come out first in Street Fighter 6. Basically, it's going to be like Marvel vs. Capcom 4. And it's like, here's the gameplay out early 2022, 2023, that kind of thing. Where it's like, hey, this shit done.
Nice.
This ain't no teaser now. Like, this game's ready. And it's another, probably Capcom developer or something. I don't know who develops the Capcom, the NBC games, but like it's ready.
Yeah.
And it's primed for it. Hey, people are hungry for that. I'm just saying.
Eric is hungry for that.
I'm just saying, like, Marvel vs. Capcom would sell a lot of copies right now if you made a really good one.
It would be a Mega Man game too.
Mega Man.
That
Counts as a Mega Man game.
That too.
All right, should we move a little bit quicker over the next?
Yes.
Yep.
Because there's still a good chunk. There's still like
Okay.
5 or 6.
We'll go quicker on the next ones. Yeah. These ones were the big three that we are gonna talk about. There's actually not much going on with these other ones, so we can also go quicker.
I mean, the next one is complete speculation.
Let's move on to the next one, and this is basically a studio that I don't know where we bring it up every year or something, or at least this is the second time we've done this. I don't know why we bring it up because they do nothing. They never do anything.
What's the studio name?
That is Konami.
Oh my god.
They do pachinko machines, man. What are you talking about?
If you're looking for
Metal
pachinko
Gear
machines,
Solid pachinko machines.
They already have those.
So look, Konami. The only thing that really
Next gen pachinko.
next gen pachinko, I like it with VR. You can feel the
your
ball.
phone. In your phone with the Metal
In your
Gear
phone.
Solid.
It probably already exists, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, things like Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania. This time, even Silent Hill. Nothing. We always hear, Konami. Fuck that. They're not doing anything. They don't give a shit. They have their gambling money. They couldn't care.
Give us a Silent Hill, please. I would like a Silent Hill.
And you're not gonna get it.
Dude, if,
Said Konami.
Everybody wants a new Silent Hill, and
They don't even have developers anymore. I think.
Nobody believes it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right
They
now,
they could license it, y'all. They could license it.
I still think Silent Hill is like
And they could have done it 10 years ago.
a limbo IP that's going to be in limbo for a while longer.
Silent Hill is a PlayStation 2 franchise. That's the last time. It's honestly a PlayStation 1 franchise. It's older than the Legacy of Kain.
To me, any Konami predictions.
I love that we keep bringing it up, but it's like, it's that, Jim. It's that.
That's why it's silent.
Any Konami predictions to me are like a dream. Like, you can
Yeah, I
dream
mean
about
that's
it.
because we have no fucking clue. It's a complete toss-up with Konami.
Or it's not gonna happen. For like 100% sure it's not gonna happen, but you can dream about it.
Konami has exceedingly good.
So look, I believe we'll see a Dino Crisis before we see a Silent Hill at this point. And none of them are gonna happen.
The thing about Silent Hill is like there was a game in development fairly recently, right? I mean, it's like 6 years now. But I mean, that one got canned. But there was some recent history, probably more recent than Metal Gear and Castlevania and Castlevania and Contra. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than Survive, Metal Gear Survive, and some spin-off Castlevania games or the mobile game. Yeah. So yeah, predictions. Mika, you got one?
Okay, I got a wish, not a prediction, because I know this will never, ever.
That's fine.
Ever
These
happen.
are all wishes, really.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what they are.
Something related to Suikoden.
Shit, interesting.
Nice.
A re-release like the Castlevania Collected Advanced Edition?
I don't know yet. This is like
shit, dude.
I know it will never happen, but it would be cool if it did.
You know what's funny? The Suikoden spiritual successor is like that was kickstarted.
Yeah,
like that game's coming out
next year.
Yeah, like next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the spin-off of that game is coming out like next month.
I know, it's so weird.
But okay, Suikoden, Caesar, you want to go next or whoever? Anyone?
Let me think on it.
Castlevania something.
Okay, I have something, and it's already been announced. Basically, Konami is removing their games from the PlayStation Now service.
Why?
By the way, they are doing that. Why? Because Sony didn't pay the piper or something.
Why?
My only prediction is that somehow
are they releasing a new pachinko machine that
I don't
The
know.
pachinko machine.
They'll do something so that they can give people a chance to play Metal Gear Solid 4, which is not even worth playing. Fucking fair.
I love Metal Gear Solid 4, dude.
What the hell? Why is it
It's
not
a good game.
It's not a good game, bro.
No, I played it this week. It's not that good.
No, it's at the first
And I'm a
run.
huge Metal Gear fan. It's not bueno.
The
It's
first
no
run,
bueno,
yeah.
no bueno.
It's not. It's just
No bueno.
it hurts my feelings.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay if you don't like it, Eric.
By the way, I played it for like an hour. I played for like 5 minutes, and then the other 55 minutes were CGI.
I'm gonna do it.
cutscenes.
I couldn't put myself through it.
Good. It's okay. Here, have a cup of warm milk.
All right. Any other things?
All right, Metal Gear 4, Suikoden. Jobber, you said what was it? You said I already forgot. You said something Castlevania.
I don't think Castlevania. I don't know what it is.
That's a fair one. That's a good one.
I might jump on that bandwagon simply because that's why like one of my favorite franchises that is just
Yeah.
Right?
Not gonna happen.
I mean,
Nah.
They
the
even
last
have- they-
Castlevania was the mobile one.
They even have an entire genre name after you, bro.
That's true.
I
It's the
know.
father.
Come on, you need to. You're
It's
the god.
Castlevania.
It's the father.
Dude, you never know, bro. They made and this is a Konami IP, an old Konami IP from the Nintendo ages. A game called Getsu Fumaden. I think that's how you
What?
say it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Right? They fucking made that like last year. Okay, I don't want to hear it. It could happen.
My brain stopped
I like-
after you said that out loud.
I like that. It's like wait a minute. Konami's like Capcom and Square Enix like we're not the worst naming.
I thought I didn't know. My language
No, they still
translator
are
got.
with the near whatever point one.
Project
point,
Triangle
blah, blah, blah,
Squared.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Okay.
These are your prediction. Your last one.
Yo, like I honestly like since you guys put down the Silent Hill, I'm just gonna just stay silent.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
would be
Go for it.
amazing.
Manny, you're putting this under take two. You're so far.
Oh, balls. That's fine.
Okay.
I knew something was wrong
okay.
as soon as I saw it. I was like, what
It's
the
like,
fuck?
I was like, we're missing one here. Okay, real quick. That's it for Konami. Let's go quickly over the other ones. So we can talk about a little bit about Take Two. They're obviously a big publisher. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much from them in the last years. We see Grand Theft Auto is the main biggest thing that they have, right?
Yeah. It's kinda do, but not really.
No, like
I don't know.
GTA has never ever been shown at E3. Never. No GTA has
There
ever
you
been
go.
shown.
Don't pick it, y'all.
Don't expect it.
Don't
All right,
expect
I'll do mine
ahead.
super quick. Whatever the fuck the BioShock people have been working on.
That's what I was
That's
gonna
mine.
say.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on that one.
Yeah,
BioShock.
I'm gonna hop on
You
that
plan on
one.
new
I'm gonna hop on the
BioShock?
BioShock train. It's time. We're due for a new BioShock.
yeah, that definitely makes sense, Manny. They
been, like,
mentioned it like
forever.
4 years ago.
Right? It's been forever. And I keep hearing like random articles like, oh, it's still in development, it's going well. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? It's been like
yeah, they like put
it's
together
been,
like a dream team for the next BioShock, but that was like 4 years ago, literally.
It's been forever since the last BioShock.
Or something where it's like no, they announced like a studio, creating a studio just to make the next BioShock.
Yeah, it's
and
the
it's
Ken
like-
Levine's
Yeah.
team. Yeah,
They
basically.
announced it, and it's like silence.
So who's hopping on that bandwagon? Mika.
Me.
I hope
Me.
you're right.
I'm
Okay.
on the BioShock train.
But are you predicting it
Yeah.
or putting it as your prediction?
No.
Jobert.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I will.
Jobert?
I would love that to be the case. So yeah, I'm on that bandwagon.
All right. Are we gonna get everybody to predict the same
I'm
thing?
gonna mix it
Not me.
up. I'm gonna mix it up.
These are back down. So did-
I'm gonna say
It's gonna say the impossible.
that they are going to merge their two biggest franchises into one.
BioShock Theft Auto?
Biotheft 6, baby. It's coming out.
I could think of. I'm so sorry.
No, I think maybe like
Technically, isn't
heard some
NBA
dumb shit
2K?
about Grand Theft Auto 6 or something, right?
Wouldn't
Oh.
NBA 2K be like the second biggest franchise after GTA?
Technically, yeah.
And it would be like-
sure.
Like a GTA
Yeah.
game where you could play basketball?
Oh shit, that's already done.
Is
These are
that like one of
lies.
the
These are
top?
lies.
Is that like one of the top memes right now in the year 2080? People will be playing this, and Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Something
To
GTA
finish
6, okay.
my only prediction here, I actually expect if they show anything is a new Civilization 7.
Ooh.
That'd be nice too.
That's been due a long time. The last one came out in 2016.
Wow.
But they've been doing so many expansions that they just keep selling it over and over and
It's
over
a
again.
huge
But
seller. It's a huge franchise.
that's a big franchise. That studio does good work in terms of like a strategy. It's a known IP. There's no reason for them to abandon it.
reliable IP so far.
Yeah, and we're starting a new generation, so it's something that they can put something together that they can basically sell expansions for the next 6-7 years now if they do Civ 7. So that's what I expect.
All right. So real quick, the easy toss up that nobody took is that XCOM game, Marvel game. What's it called? Marvel Midnight Suns?
Yo,
I nobody heard about that.
It's basically Marvel
What?
meets XCOM with a card-based game.
Who
Yeah.
ordered that on Amazon? Somebody ordered that?
But that's
Oh.
due as well. Like that has
Maybe.
to. It's
It's
coming out
not-
this year still, right? Yeah, I think so.
Did it come out?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one actually. That actually might be a day one for me if it reviews well because I like that setting, particularly the Mystic Marvel characters. I love those.
Yeah, and the
Yeah, so-
developers so far
Yep.
they got a good track record. So yeah.
Let's hope they
Um,
don't mistreat it like somebody Square Enix. I'm looking at you.
Wink. All right, next.
Next, let's talk real quick about Warner Brothers. We don't even know if they're going to be bought by anyone. They still have not been bought. Nobody wants to buy them for some reason because apparently they don't come with the IPs, aka Batman, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. They don't come with those, the developers. So why should I buy them?
So this was rather interesting because we know a lot about them. We know a lot of
we
games
know
that
a
they have
lot
coming
about
out.
what they're doing. Yeah,
They have two.
They've shown
They have
everything.
the Gotham Knights. They have the Suicide Squad. They have the Wonder Woman game they announced. They have Harry Potter.
Harry
They
Potter,
have
man,
the
that's
Gollum
one.
game. Fucking, you know, there's a lot.
Hogwarts.
It just did
We don't use
Lego
the word
Star
Harry
Wars.
Potter anymore.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Yeah,
Legacy of
Hogwarts, right.
Hogwarts. Yes.
Yes,
Sorry,
the Harry Potter
Harry.
is it's like saying Voldemort. You don't say it
You're
anymore.
not the wizard anymore. Harry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we know
My
a lot about
prediction was going to be whatever NetherRealm is working on, but I'm gonna wait for Evo for that one too. So now I need to pick something else.
All right. Any other particular predictions in terms of like states or the overall state of Warner Brothers? Basically, they're still working. They have a bunch of games coming, as Manny mentioned. We know little about them other than basically the Harry Potter game with that big showcase they had a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that was
Alright.
that's gonna be their main entry.
I want to see Gotham Knights coming out. Like if I see like that one, I'll be excited.
The Gollum game isn't WB though. Like, I don't know why I said. Why is that here?
Is that not there? Is that not
No,
WB?
I think that's actually fucking.
I could have
Embracer.
sworn. Okay, I was wrong.
No, because that's like it's a weird thing where it's like the book IP, not the movie IP, and it's different.
Oh, then I am mistaken. All right. Any other takes? I'm gonna throw somebody under the bus. Gilver, any thoughts on Mortal Kombat?
Evo, like Manny said.
Again, Evo as well. Evo can't have everything, man.
But that's our prediction: is Mortal Kombat is not here. Right?
Okay. There you go.
Not here. Not here.
All right, who's missing? Everybody else is missing.
I don't know. I said Gotham Knights. That I'd like to see Gotham Knights.
It so far it's looked promising, and it's supposed to come out this year. It's definitely due for like a big gameplay showcase like they did with Hogwarts. Yeah,
like or a demo. Like that night they're gonna say now you can demo tonight. You can download it and demo it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be nice.
I'll go against Gilbert and Manuel and say Mortal Kombat 12 for nothing.
Oh, it
gets
announced.
I'm typing it down. Sorry, okay. But that's a good one.
It's like a full silence. It's like
they're due. That's the thing. They're due, but like Gilbert and I are saying, like they're gonna wait and hold off on the announcement for the big fighting game community shit. But they could show it here. There's technically more eyes here.
It will be more of a surprise if it's here, and by the time the gaming community event comes along, there's already buzz about it.
I would actually say it makes more sense to do it at E3 because Mortal Kombat is one of the most popular like fighting game franchises for the casual audience.
Popular culture, yeah.
And this is a casual audience event.
It's widely known in popular culture. And you know what? I would not be surprised if they include another Mortal Kombat movie. The other one, even though it wasn't great, it did relatively well, I think, didn't it?
There was always popcorn. I eat popcorn with those, so you know how it is. Bring them on.
It's a popcorn flick.
Popcorn movie. I like it.
It's a popcorn flick.
Now and then.
It had its issues, but the things they did related to the series were well done.
Oh.
The things that's added above that were obviously nobody liked them, but so I don't know why they keep doing that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I did see I guess not a documentary, but one of those YouTube shows behind the scenes gives you a behind the scenes look, and at least the team relating to the Mortal Kombat part were really well versed and well known people about it.
Nice.
That it made sure it was done properly and really like true fans.
As Manny said, I'm going over basically all the studios, and it's basically all studios have games accounted for coming out soon. Now, there ain't no surprises.
There's always surprises.
I'll mention one. Actually, I don't even know if this was Monolith or not. Wasn't there? No, this is Bethesda. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Indiana Jones game that was announced.
Oh yeah, that's Bethesda. That's for the first party. Yeah, that's not.
Okay, never mind then. I was somehow confusing one of these developers. Yeah, they're all accounted for, I guess. I don't know.
What's shown? What shows up? It doesn't have to be new.
Gotham Knights. They're gonna do a re-reveal of what the game is. It's how it's changed. Because the last time they showed it was like almost 2-3 years ago. And since then, we've seen nothing.
It's been a while, but not.
I think because basically when they announced it, they said like it's going to be a games as a service and all this stuff. I think they're completely removing that and they're doing something else.
I don't
still have the
ever
co-op,
recall hearing
they
that,
still have the
but
thing,
okay.
but they need to evolve that style. Like, big game was basically designed for PS4 to an Xbox One. It looked like last time they showed it. So I'm expecting them to change it, but we'll see. That's the only thing. Just more of that. And multiverses, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah, multiverses. They announced that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only thing that I expect to see.
So next is a big one.
Okay.
Why don't we couple the next two?
Yeah, let's do that,
please.
let's do that.
Yeah, let's
Right.
let's
Because they're kind of related.
go. with
Manny,
it.
you added this in here. This was not here. The second one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
You're
couple
cheating.
them. Yeah, I
You're
know.
cheating big time. All right, let's
need to pay
go
attention,
with.
sir.
I'm gonna call Bandai Namco. We're gonna talk about them quick. Particularly, that'll also include talking about From Software, because basically the Bandai Namco is basically the publisher of almost every From game.
It's been the main publisher except for Sekiro,
Yeah.
right? Every other game that From has made has been.
Yeah, and
pretty
we
much
know the
published by
success
Bandai.
of Elden Ring. If anything, Manny, I would actually not be surprised if we saw an Elden Ring DLC trailer.
Oh yeah, that's the freebie, dude. I'm taking that one too.
All right, take it,
I
because
want
I have
that.
something else. But I say it
Again,
every year. So
multiple people. I'm
sadness.
just gonna do it because it's quick and
All right,
quick.
so real
fucking
quick
fast.
to
I'm not gonna go Pac-Man.
Yeah, real quick to
17 or
talk to
whatever.
people in terms of like things. We still have Tekken under Bandai Namco.
I'll play
We
Tekken.
have things like Pac-Man. We have a bunch of like anime games. We have like a Dragon Ball Battle Royale that was announced years ago. There's like a One Piece
That
RPG.
wasn't that far ago. That was this year. What the fuck?
No, that was a long time ago.
That was not that far ago,
fuck,
dude.
I don't
It
fucking
was
know, dude.
not. I forget
There's
what
a
the
One
fucking
Piece
name is.
RPG coming out. There's probably more Naruto games because those are basically annual franchises. We just don't follow them. Same thing with My Hero Academia. Could basically release another fighting game.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, they just came out with a new game.
Tailsoft. They got Tailsoft. They got Dynasty Wars. They got Ace Combat. They got
Whatever other anime is popular at the time,
Calibur.
I don't know.
That's it.
So
Gundam.
yeah, they have a lot of games. Obviously, From has its own things. In terms of predictions, Manny, I mentioned Elden Ring DLC. The only thing I would expect is, again, I keep saying Armored Core, but because From apparently is working on 3 games. Elden Ring was one of them. There's 2 missing. I don't know what they are, but I was hoping it was Armored Core.
Elden Ring 2 and Elden Ring 3, man. That's
No, but like they updated like their logo a year ago or something, and they basically had like a Dark Souls, Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Armored Core as the 4 images. People were like, "What the fuck did you put in this Armored Core in here?" So people were like, "What the hell?" So they did it on purpose for a reason, but that's just speculation. We don't bloody know.
Yeah.
So I said Elden Ring DLC was a safe choice. Any other thoughts, Gilbert Tekken?
So you ever said Tekken, bro? Are you doing Armored Core?
Tekken, I said Tekken.
Yeah, I'll give that more.
Caesar, you on the DLC bandwagon?
Yeah, I honestly don't expect FromSoft to do anything.
Dude, DLC for Elden Ring is coming. It's just whether or not it's announced.
Yeah.
Like, they've done DLC for every single one of their fucking games, except Sekiro.
They're
But
definitely
that
coming
might
with
be
DLC
Activision,
for
right?
Elden Ring.
That's the.
It's almost
But-
guaranteed.
But it's
It's
only been
fucking
a month,
guaranteed.
Yeah.
like since it came out, right? Or 2 months? How long has it been?
Dude, it came out in February. It's been almost. It's gonna be 6 months by the time like E3 is rolling around. Not 6 months. Sorry, fucking
4
4
months.
months. Yeah.
But it's possible that they just announced that the DLC is
And-
coming,
Yeah,
and it's
I
basically
mean,
going to
for
be shown more
sure.
later this year.
Yeah, maybe
They could. I mean, if it's just a teaser, they could just show like
the story,
something.
right?
Cool. Yeah.
And
that's-
that keeps Elden Ring being talked about in the press and being like, hey, there's more
Yeah.
content coming. Join
Yeah.
now and play the game now so that you can be ready for the DLC when it comes out.
yeah,
Like
it would make
there's
sense.
multiple reasons why you should do it, particularly because you probably developed the DLC, so it's semi-ready to go when the game comes out. It's not something that they just started working on it. They basically probably have it ready.
Okay, man. Just take my money. Just take my money.
There you go. Take it. Okay. Any other Bandai Namco or From things from the group?
Dark Souls 4.
Oh,
I love you, Mika, but we already have that. It's called Elden Ring. And just scramble the letters around.
It's
like an
not
anagram.
officially a Dark Souls sequel.
They
Just
said they
scramble the
weren't done
letters.
with the universe, just for now, right?
Yeah,
Or
but
whatever.
The Dark
They
Souls
said.
universe is a multiverse, so it's like whatever
said-
they want. It's like Final Fantasy.
I like the multiverse.
It's a
Like whatever they want.
multiverse. That's good.
They just keep doing the same game though. Like, I get it. Okay,
It's working, dude.
The
It's
cycle
working.
of
They're
rebirth.
popular.
They're refining that working formula, dude. Like Monster Hunter
The
does,
formula
and
is
it's just
good. The formula
it's
is
still
good.
fucking good. It's yummy, dude.
Yummy.
All right, they released Sekiro before this, so that changed it quite a little bit.
Sekiro wasn't. Sekiro's might be a
Quite
nice.
a
Yeah.
little
and
bit.
and I love Bloodborne a lot. Like the Lovecraftian style. Oh man, that killed me.
I'm still in love with Elden Ring, dude. I'm still playing it.
Yeah, and Elden Ring, of course, is good.
It's been. I don't think I've ever played a single player game this long. I swear, ever, fucking ever.
All right,
Like 3 months after. I normally go like, I beat already. Fuck, I'm done.
let's
But
try to
no,
move
Elden
on to
Ring,
the last ones
so fucking meaty.
because we got
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 more to go real quick.
Let's do 2 more. We'll
Yeah.
delete this. We'll delete Riot
This
games.
next one is interesting, actually. This next one is
Yeah.
interesting.
That one's big. Yeah.
Let's get into this one because this one's probably the biggest one after this.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
biggest third-party publisher. That isn't
Yeah.
Activision because we're gonna talk about that for the first party.
Or Ubisoft. And that
We already
is
talked about Ubisoft. Ubisoft is
that-
not bigger than
that we're
EA.
done talking about. All right, so this is
Oh,
EA.
EA.
Yeah, Electronic Arts.
Thanks,
Obviously,
Five.
they've had a little bit of a hiccup in the last couple of years. Voted
Burples.
worst company in America multiple years in a row.
And yet-
Congratulations. Here's your sign.
And yet, I would say they're doing better than Ubisoft and Activision.
It is.
and-
It is.
you
They
know,
are.
like,
They are.
They're-
They are.
they're doing pretty bad, but better on those two. I'll say that.
So, so they have a bunch of things already announced. They have a new Dragon Age
Mm-hmm.
announced. They announced a new Mass Effect.
Mass Effect's coming. Yeah.
They announced apparently changes to Battlefield, whatever the fuck this last one was. That good again. I'm following in that. They basically said that they're really gonna do changes to Battlefield 2042 to change the progression, the model thing. It just apparently takes a long time, so they have to restructure it from the ground up. I'm
Yeah, that's
surprised
fun.
that they have announced it. They have Respawn, as Manny is typing in right now as I'm seeing it. That's the new Star Wars game, Jedi Fallen Order 2
Yep.
is coming.
and
probably
the
soon.
first-person shooter.
The first-person shooter also from Respawn.
Oh.
And obviously they have their sports games, which we never care for, but that's 4 or 5 games right there.
That's gonna be
Um,
there. So let's.
So they
that's the
have
easy way
content,
out.
and they always work with an indie or two here and there, and they release good indie-backed games by EA.
They released It Takes Two last year. Game of the Year.
Yeah. We're game of the year winner for all week.
First
Crap
time
about EA. EA wins some Game of the Year awards, particularly from the indie.
You think? Oh, indie.
But-
Okay.
But they do. They have some Game of the Year awards.
I mean,
Games
they've
that they have
won.
published.
Dragon Age won Game of the Years, and so
That's what I'm
did
saying.
Mass
Yeah.
Effect, right?
Dragon
Like,
Age won. It Takes Two won. EA's for all
Titanfall
the
was
hate,
robbed.
right? What?
Titanfall 2 was robbed.
Titanfall 2, even Mass Effect 2 when it came out, that was a Game of the Year contender for whenever year it came
I'm
out, right?
excited for the new
So
Mass Effect.
they got talent. They got things. If we draw the amnesia key and forget about Anthem ever existing, they're done okay.
Wasn't the worst
There's a
prototype
couple
in
more
the world
things.
either.
I know.
Right.
I've been extremely nice.
Like Andromeda and
Andromeda's like nasty though. Yeah.
I actually like Andromeda. It's not great, but it's a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
they didn't
What's a 7
completely
out
shit
of
the
10?
bed.
What?
Dude,
They didn't
couldn't-
completely shit the bed. They just
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
couldn't
was
handle
broken,
it.
but if you replay that game now, it's a decent 7 out of 10 for third-person space opera thingy. Is it great?
it
No, I don't
wasn't
remember the characters.
space
No,
opera. That's what my problem was. The space opera part.
I agree. I agree with you actually.
Like, the first compared to the trilogy. No way.
All right, so that's the state of EA. We have definitely a lot
other-
of known games coming out.
the other big one you forgot that hasn't been like that is due is Need for Speed. I think Need for Speed is definitely.
Oh
due.
yeah, that's
Oh,
definitely
nice.
probably coming back.
Yeah, no, there's a game being worked on by Criterion.
Oh, Criterion.
They finally put fucking Criterion on Need for Speed, dude. Fucking finally. They took him
Actually,
a goddamn decade.
we also got the recently announced Dead Space remake.
Ooh yeah.
Oh shit!
want
I was
that
gonna
one.
say I was gonna say
I
they
want
show
that
Dragon Age, but I'm gonna pick that instead. Never mind.
I want
Yeah.
that one.
That's
And they even
yeah.
announced Skate 4, if you recall.
Oh, there was a leak the other day about Skate 4.
So that might coming.
like a
That's
pre-alpha.
probably
Yeah.
coming real soon. Because that's probably ready, like to show, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
So they got things coming. They definitely got a lot of things coming. They can show a bunch of stuff. They can have their own presentation and they can do fine. I think this year.
Yeah,
If they show more than the goddamn developer diaries that they do every year for Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
Yeah, they need to show Dragon Age at this point. That game's been worked for a while.
Photos.
A while. All
right. Sorry.
I'll say Dead Space remake. Caesar, you too?
I'm definitely saying that, but I think Electronic Arts, I'm going to predict several. I'm going to say Dragon Age comes out as well. I'm going to say we get our sweet Star Wars kick with that blockbuster presentation they got going on for us.
So Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Oh, yeah, give me that.
All right. Who's next?
I agree with what Cesar said. I think they show exactly that. I think they go real ham. They actually show Dead Space a little. They show Dragon Age. They show Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order 2. At least those three, we're gonna see them. We're gonna see them being played. We're gonna at least something. That Dead Space might just be the tutorial, but Dead Space they've already shared some gameplay for them.
All right. I'll go ahead and jump on that bandwagon too. Sure. Let's type.
Yeah, I expect those things. Those things have to be ready. Those things have to be ready to be shown. I think they're gonna show them. They probably are gonna show even other things like Mass Effect. They're gonna show another CGI developer diary, but they'll talk about it.
What else? What else do you think?
That's it. That's it for now.
Mika.
Sims 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
That is
That is a very good one.
It's due.
That's
It came
great.
out
That is so good.
Sims 4 came out in 2014.
That's super good. I love that one.
You misspelled that though. It's Sims online battle royale. Something. Yeah.
Sims live
The
service.
Sims for all the like I don't know like. It's like a hidden like a joke. Sometimes it feels like it's the joke of the gaming community. It is insanely popular.
If anything, it's too smart of a move for EA.
I'm gonna say
It would be perfect right now with people in quarantines and stuff. Still a little bit of and like Sims.
it up,
The success of Animal Crossing. Afterwards, you release like a year later. You release Sims.
Survival
You
Sims.
punch it in. Yeah, that would sell a lot.
Sims 5 had come out at the pandemic hit.
Correct, and that would sell gangbusters, and it makes so much sense that I actually don't think EA has even thought of it. It's the only negative. Otherwise, I love the idea.
That makes too much sense. EA couldn't have possibly thought of that.
They aren't that smart. Shit.
Exactly.
Talking about EA.
I root for it. All right, Julver.
Don't know. Actually, for EA,
Madden.
Yep.
FIFA.
That's
FIFA.
fucking
Damn.
boring. Whatever. Any fucking sports game. Yeah, those are gonna be there.
FIFA, but it's gonna be the same game.
You could have gone ballsy and say FIFA free to play.
No. Hear me out. It's gonna be the same game.
It's
as
not even
last
gonna be
year.
called FIFA. It's gonna be called like Football Club or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do that, Julver. Think that's
It's gonna be Football Club 2000 or something. I don't know.
I love that.
They're gonna start doing like WoW and start releasing the old games. Classic.
You know we're saying that, right?
FIFA 2010 Classic Edition. Re-release.
Ronaldo rookie year.
Like I don't know if these are like I'm backtracking a bit, and I don't know if these are actual numbers, but I googled quickly a bit, and like I read some reports that Sims 4 annual revenue is 462 million.
Dude, that's a big
good amount.
wallet.
Exactly. They cannot be blind to that, dude. What the fuck?
No, they're not blind. Trust me.
But they dumbed it.
Yeah, annual, and the game's been going on since 2014. So you know, it's definitely, and they did kind of tinted that the fifth one was in pre-production. So actually, if they don't say it in E3, I was like, oh, really? Come on, man. That's it.
All right. Last one, just to wrap it all up with our original
We're now gonna
opening
group like
appetizer.
20 different developers into one. We're gonna call it the Embracer Group.
The Embracer Group.
Because it's true. Manny, that was it, right?
This is the big one.
Embracer Group, yeah.
All right, so that's a lot of IPs. We just talked about it today. That's Legacy of Kain. I don't know why I put that first. Tomb Raider.
It's the one I want the most.
I know. And you're gonna be disappointed. Tomb Raider.
I'm not gonna
Deus
pick it.
Ex.
They literally just acquired them. That takes like 4 years to
I
cook.
know.
You know?
At least,
Nah, man,
if they even
but
think
But
about it.
at least the hope is revived, dude.
The hope is real. The hope is actually real this time.
The dream is not
my
dead.
You can get to 40 before Legacy of Kain gets announced.
Because this Embracer Group has been buying like old IP. They bought like Red Faction. They bought fucking Time Splitters. They bought Gex. Whatever the fuck. They've been buying a bunch of old IP.
Alone in the
man.
Dark. They bought Alone in the Dark.
It must be for something, like, right? It might be a small game, mind you, but it's like, fuck, they're
Dude, I think
planning.
they want to
something.
get like a $60 billion check from Microsoft or something.
That could
Yeah.
be
Buy
something
me
like that.
everything.
Could be something like that.
Or Apple. It's like, Apple, you want to get into the gaming space? Just buy Embracer.
You know,
have
Deus
IPs for
Ex is
days.
one I'm excited about.
Okay.
Like,
They own things like obviously Metro, Saints Row, Borderlands, Darksiders, Time Splitters, as Manny mentioned. What do we expect from Embracer around this summer E3 or the status of them?
I'll go first because I already predicted it in my year predictions. Darksiders 4, right? I predicted it back then, so that's mine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Any particular thing from the many IPs or things that you would like to see from Embracer? These are so many different groups that are under this one giant umbrella that it's kind of hard to even call them that.
yeah.
An easy one, a toss-up is Saints Row is shown, right? Like they've been working on it. They delayed it.
Isn't that coming out like in a month?
Yeah, it's
or
coming
so?
out in like August. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll definitely show
haven't-
that.
They
have to
haven't
show it.
shown a trailer since like December, so it's been a while. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
No,
easy.
they're
Easy
gonna
stuff.
announce Deus Ex like I'm going
Already?
for, like right now. Like they're not even waiting
Tomorrow.
To be
tomorrow,
perfectly
man.
honest,
Yeah.
to defend Caesar, literally EA announced Star Wars Battlefront like 2 or 3 weeks after they got the license from Star Wars.
I feel like it was the
All
day
they
off.
did
Yeah.
was prepare the CGI trailer so they could announce that game. They haven't even started development. They're just been like, you've been greenlit. Make a CGI trailer that's like 30 seconds long so we can announce it.
that is
That was
nearly
fever
2 or
dream.
3 weeks
Doing it now,
before
green
E3.
light.
And then
Yeah, fever dream right there.
Yeah. So it is possible to put together a very, very quick CGI dumb thing or something to announce something. And so it's not outside of the realm of possibility. That being said, I don't think the deal has been finalized. I think they just agreed to it.
It doesn't matter, man. They're just gonna say it. Oh,
Square Enix
they're
is
gonna
gonna
tweet it.
push
That's
that
Square Enix,
motherfucker
or it
hard.
might be should be announced by Square Enix.
Yeah.
But it could be. The only thing I'll say, there's a predictions that I think it might actually be due. Honestly, a sequel to World War C.
They
That's cool.
just came out with an expansion, like
Oh, then I'm
very
wrong. Then never
recently.
mind. I wasn't paying a track of how long that was.
right? World War C
Um,
Aftermath came out like late last year.
Then never mind. They're not ready. Because I was thinking that's a franchise they're definitely gonna keep going. So
Someone-
I'm
Yeah,
getting,
I'll
we're getting
agree,
a sequel
but-
eventually.
Aftermath came out April 4th of last year, if I'm getting
Okay.
that right. I don't know. It definitely came out last year.
So I'll switch that to maybe the Remnant then. Remnant from the Ashes. Give me a second one,
Oh, cool.
and I'll
Okay.
expect that. I'll expect to see that. Actually, yeah, it could definitely happen. I think that game was very well received. I think that game will be even more well received now. That way you make a second one and people know what it is. I think that
Yeah,
would sell
a
very
lot.
well.
A lot of people got their hands on it through, the free, making it free or Game Pass or whatever. Right?
So
It's like-
and I would definitely, and it's been a while that I think that developer can at least announce a sequel to it.
yeah.
And if
that
they're not
would-
working on a sequel, what the heck are you doing? You should at least go for seconds. You don't have to go for thirds. Dead Space 3, but you can at least go for seconds.
Yeah.
All right, we're missing Mika and Gilbert.
You guys got anything?
Something that we missed or wasn't mentioned.
Prediction for Embracer Group.
What do you think, man? What do you think? That Alone in the Dark?
I really don't know.
No,
Predictions. I got nothing.
no scary Alone in the Dark games coming out, nothing like that.
No.
No.
The most options and nothing.
I'm gonna get that one.
Them. Like we didn't
I'm gonna
even
take
like
that
kind of
one.
know they
They're-
exist.
We've literally mentioned like 15 IP. You could pick any one of those.
But we're still not familiar
Thief.
with them.
Thief is an IP that they fucking
They
have.
own
Metro.
100.
They literally
Dead
just
Island.
bought that.
Dead Island, it fucking has been in works. Dead Island 2 has been missing MIA for like 4 or 5 years now.
More than that.
I'm just saying, like, but it
Didn't
hasn't
they
been
released a trailer and then it just disappeared from the face of the earth?
Yeah, but it hasn't been canceled. They've just been moving it. It's definitely in development hell.
It never got canceled?
No.
I thought it was canceled.
No, they
for
moved it from
sure.
developer to developer, I think, twice already.
Oh, that sucks.
It's the Beyond Good and Evil 2 of the. That's
All right,
it.
I'll go with a wild card because that's gonna be my theme for this podcast. Goat Simulator 2.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna adopt the Alone in the Dark. That's
like
common.
that,
That's
actually.
common.
I
I'm
really
there
like
announcing that one.
Caesar, you already said Deus Ex, so you want Deus Ex and Alone in the
I
Dark?
want both
What?
of them. Yeah, I'm taking that Alone in the Dark for a ride.
And then Gilbert with the goose egg.
They're not announcing anything. It's just Embracer Group. They're readying up the sale for Microsoft.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
I keep saying they could easily sell themselves for like $70 billion.
Look, they could have
Those are
just
good IPs.
bought-
Western IP. Those are very good Western IPs and stuff like that.
They
Like,
could have just bought Tomb Raider and just sell Tomb Raider and get their money back.
I'm saying you want to get
Probably,
into the gaming space, just buy Embracer. By the way, they're worth like $70 billion. That's a big.
It's a big
It's a huge
company,
company.
right?
It's
Yeah.
not
It's a
just
huge
gaming.
company.
Yeah.
But if you were to buy like Apple,
That's like
Google.
they've been investing into gaming
Immediately you get
hardcore
in.
because it's still growing and they know like they could make money out of it.
Yeah.
I'm saying buy Embracer, make a console, make all those games exclusive. Good enough content.
Sell it
But-
to Steam.
I digress. All right. With that, I think we can then wrap up. That was basically our quick discussion, even though it took us over an hour. That was fun, though, talking to all the different developers. Third party. We'll probably do one in the coming weeks for the other major first party developers. I say major because we'll also be talking about other people like, say, Epic or even Steam. We did that before. We're trying to group them, but we'll talk about them more. What we expect from them when we get closer to probably E3, or what would have been E3. So with that, we'll wrap up the main course here, and we will be moving on to our desserts. All right. So who has any particular desserts for this week?
I could go first because mine is it's a continuation on last
Please go ahead.
week's. So Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, right? Like came out literally last Wednesday. I played it over the weekend. It is very fun. I still recommend it especially if you've never played Stanley Parable. Just fucking play it. It's
Is
not
it a sequel, or you need to play the first one to get it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. You
Okay.
you do need to play the first one because
I played the first one already. Like,
it's worth playing. I don't know if it's worth spending 25, like the full 25, if you already played the first one. Like, if you love the game, I would say yes. Like, it adds. You could say it doubles the endings, but that's like almost like a gimmicky. It does have more endings than that too. But right, so Stanley Parable is a game with multiple endings, right? It has like 13 endings, the original, if not more, and that's a whole gimmick.
that's the fun, by the way.
I won't say anything more than that. This one, you could say it doubles the endings easily.
That's
Nice.
that's twice the game right there.
That's
I've
bad.
never played
Yeah.
it. I don't even know what it is.
You get to grind
It's so
this twice
fucking
as
good.
much.
If you've
I
never
don't know what
played
it
it,
is.
then yeah, it's not a sequel. It's the same game re-released, but with extra content, right? You could say it's double the content, more or less. However, the first one you could beat in like 2 to 3 hours. It's an amazing 2 to 3 hours, by the way. So this one is about the same, right? It's just, but reliving the original, because it's been like 10 years since I played it, if not more. Like I played it near launch. And then seeing the new stuff, it just puts a smile to my face, dude. That game is so fucking funny and brilliant. Yeah, so I recommend it.
I'm gonna eat that shit. I'm gonna eat that.
And it sold over 100,000 copies during the first 24 hours, which is pretty big for an indie. It's like, right, it's still an indie. It's a smaller title, so yeah, pretty sure that's good numbers. Yeah, man.
You'll find them on Steam and all that stuff.
Yep. All right, that's my answer.
Guys, I got one. Jump King is on sale for 50%, and we should totally do a challenge where we all play it to see who does it the quickest and who takes the longest.
I might already own it. I don't know.
What's that game's name?
Jump
no, I don't
King.
own it. I don't own it.
Jump
King. El rey de brincar.
El rey de brincar.
Yeah,
makes sense when you say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
Is it really 50% off?
Yeah.
Where? I see it at regular price.
Really? Did it end already? What the fuck?
It must have ended.
It was
Well,
like
I'm
combo breaker.
So I'm just gonna do a quick public announcement. May 10th, baby. Clear calendars.
Oh, it ended. I guess it was only a 24-hour thing. Damn it.
What's May 10th?
That's May 10th.
Sunbreak.
Oh, right. The show for Sunbreak. Yeah, that's gonna be an appetizer next week, right? Yeah, boy. Delicious. All right, Eric Gilbert.
I got nothing. I am a fool.
All right.
Too much steak, man. You ate too much steak. You gotta cut down on them
too much
calories.
bread. That's what happened.
I'll finish this, and it's related to how we started. It's related to Overwatch. The Overwatch League is actually starting its 5th season tomorrow, May 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they're actually going to be playing Overwatch 2. So it's a new season of Overwatch League, and they're actually going to be playing the Overwatch 2 modes with the new maps and everything. So if you actually wanted to try to see Overwatch 2, tomorrow might be the perfect time to start doing it. Tomorrow's the season opener, according to this. I'm looking at it now. It starts at 3 p.m. and basically it's a weekly thing, right? For the next. It's like 24-week season, by the way. It's actually kind of impressive.
Nice.
That's insane.
Lots of Overwatch.
It's kind of insane. Especially a lot of Overwatch every month. Boom, 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 up till end of October, until middle of October. They have basically
Where
weekly
are the
matches
teams,
Overwatch.
Eric? Where are they located?
I don't know. I have a link of the schedule here. I'll let you know. I don't even know who the teams are anymore.
Exactly.
Probably half of them are from China at this point. I don't know what the teams are. Go whatever Washington DC area location, whatever it is. But just FYI, tomorrow 3 p.m. That's when the league starts. So if you wanted to watch some Overwatch 2, like we talked about this morning, that's probably the best way to do it. And that's
Bro,
real
quick. I'm gonna take your Overwatch and I'm gonna race you a League of Legends mid-season invitational tournament.
Man.
It starts May 10th as well, right? So if you're interested in
perfect
international League of Legends competition, that's a week away.
No.
Ooh.
Quick. That gets down bad news or whatever. Remember, the Overwatch League is not on Twitch. It is goddamn only on YouTube Gaming.
What?
It's like one of those exclusivity things that they sign with YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's only on YouTube
One of
Gaming,
the reasons,
which is why we don't see it at all.
Die.
By the way, or why it's basically died.
Why it's not live.
Yeah. So, but FYI, I actually saw it here. I'm like, let me mention this. That's a big no-no.
I actually watch when I watch League. I watch it on YouTube. It's just feel like it's a better platform for streaming. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you can pause it and go back. You could pause it and go back real easy, and the bots are say better. I don't know. YouTube is better as a platform, but yeah, Twitch is
They should have it on both. That's the thing. Like, you want to get your
They
audience,
should,
baby.
but that's what
Shouldn't
money
have
does, man.
signed that contract. Shouldn't have signed
Yeah,
it.
they probably said, we're worried about the money that we're gonna make from viewers, so let's just take the easy payout.
Yeah, but that was a bad deal.
I don't think that was a good.
All right, we're going.
You don't know how
into
much money was involved.
We're going into the Eye of the Tiger. Let's wrap.
Eye of the Tiger. Yeah, pineapple.
I don't know. Wait, I'm tired.
Get the pineapples. Get the pineapples out of here.
We end our 3-course gaming meal. We would like to thank everybody for listening. If you want, you can look for Game on most popular social media platforms. So free to go follow, a comment, all the social media stuff. Also, please visit our website, DMCA Strikes. Please avoid them. Please visit our website at thegamingmeal.com for more gaming meal goodness. That is all for today. Have a good one, everyone.
Nice,
Manny. Good. You got
job, man. That was good. That was a good.
Yeah, keep going, Manny.
Awesome.
Had to talk louder than yours.
Tiger, man. Fuck, what's that?
Oh, we've been talking. Okay,
I don't know. The words came out of my mouth. I'm like, that has nothing to do with what you just said. My brain was like, I quit. I feel like Homer Simpson there for a second. Okay, if you're not gonna listen to me, I'm gonna quit.
Pineapple.
You
gotta remember.
I don't like you, and you don't like me. But if we do this together, after this, I'll start killing you with beer again.
It's your responsibility. You gotta move it. You gotta move.
I was definitely like the confused meme where it was like, huh? You know? But it was funny.
I didn't even watch Rocky lately.
Oh my god.
That was good.
I'm the tiger. Stop.
Man,
I panicked. Okay, it's the first thing that came out for some reason.
I actually got a little hype for those trailers that are coming that we predicted.
Yeah. Cesar, remember that we're still streaming, I think, just because we stopped recording.
I am aware. Actually, I am aware.
Yeah, but I'm gonna head out. I'm done for the night. Dude.
Yeah, I should go as well.
I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Good night, folks.
On the flip side.
I'm out as well. You guys have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, Mika, I think.
Everybody's leaving.
Yeah, I guess I'll leave. I need to edit this.
So, Carlos inviting everybody to go to your house?
We'll figure it out. It might just be like a local
anymore, are you?
thing. Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning a trip to Asia. I don't know if it's gonna be on June or July.
No, just go. Don't worry about it. It's my birthday. It's not a big deal.
I'm basically just literally just
waiting.
Really, that sounded like
Mika, you stop.
Like
Stop streaming. You should stop streaming before
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it.
Right,
we'll see. I actually haven't talked to her since that came out, so I'll talk to her. I'll see what we do.
Bye.